Yeah, that's good. That's even still there. All right, cool. All right, appreciate you all for coming. I do not know how long this broadcasting will be, but its intention is to uncover some truths in the hopes that we will be able to correct certain concepts and dispose or dispel of any deviant information in regards to nationality, birthright, citizenship, and just overall identity for Moorish Americans. All right. All right. So the question is, has CMA preserved the teachings of Thomas Jurali, of the Noble Jurali? We're going to be using the Holy Quran of the Moorish Science Temple of America, the 101 Question and Answers for Moorish Americans, Moorish Guide newspaper articles, the actual religion of Islam, which is called Islamism, and the race and national origin in the United States, Standard Form 181. These are the teachings of the one called Drew Ali, all right? And we're going to compare it. All of this is in here except for this last part here, right? We're going to compare it to the Clock of Destiny. Let me show you. Moorish Constitution and Nationality, which was established by picture. There should be a picture of him. I did not bind this book. I literally just printed it out. So, give me up. There we go. Established by this man, CMA. You see, CMA. All right. So we're going to compare this information with this information to see if the claims that are made by certain Moorish Americans of CMA preserving Drew Ali's works is an accurate description. First thing that we like to bring to the mind of the people, bring to the present, is that this organization for the Moorish Americans who fall under the Clock of Destiny, right? Yeah, see, it's not picking up the right light. Do I need to make it brighter? There we go. All right. We see that it was established August 1st. So this organization was established August 1st. And notably, yeah, we'll use this. One moment. Find it. I know it's in here. There we go. And we're going to also take note that, can we find it on here? Okay, there we go. That this was also established or recognized August 1st. Can y'all see that? August 1st, right there. Okay. Just the first thing to take note of. So, all right. I have highlighted just what I feel as though is necessary to speak about, right, and to use as a guide. So, we have in the preamble, pardon me. Nah. Yeah, I gotta, but then it's reverberating off of that. All right. Nonetheless, I'll do my best to. I'll do my best. All right. So we have in the preamble of, and let me write this out. This is all doctrine stemming from AA 222141. Okay. All right. Let us read this preamble. All right. Clock of Destiny. Moorish Constitution and Nationality. Drali definitely brought us a Constitution and our nationality. Let's see if this preserves what Noble Drali presents, right? It says, we, the members of the Moorish Constitution National Culture Club, must promote organized effort in the category of all legal business enterprises, such as chain stores of necessary human consumption, housing and building programs, agriculture, transportation, printing, literature, the home group education in the Moorish science of the zodiac involving human character, sociology, economics, commerce, the science of good government, etc. Islam, beloved. Peace, peace. All right, it says, we, the Moorish American members of the National Culture Constitution Club, and also the European Americans of the white, so look, I needed to, well, it's over there, of the White People's Union Society of the 48 states, equally depend upon one another for economic security and progress in peace. That's beautiful. So far, so good. We're going to bring in the first point of order. At the ending of the preamble, it says, we, the Moorish American members, must always endeavor to conceal our card and constitution until we have been employed or gained a business agreement, etc. In other words, it is best to be on the inside with them before we can have the grand opportunity to gain equal recognition by our Moorish constitution when necessary. If we present our card and constitution before we have gained employment or a business agreement, it would result in unnecessary confusion, leaving us on the outside looking in. Therefore, we must always present our Social Security card and birth certificate of the USA when applying for employment, which are necessary. Then, use applied psychology all the way with your concealed constitution and card until some strenuous legal event occurs. Then, the time is right for your law to move in. So first thing that pops out at me is that CMB is telling his Moors that they should use their Social Security cards and birth certificates, and then after gaining employment, enforce upon them this particular information in order to then gain access to rights within business. So that's all. To me, that's already deceitful. That you have to hide it, and then once you get in, ta-da! Drew Ali did not teach us that we had to hide anything necessarily in business, or that we had to use some form of other identity during his times to gain employment. Drew Ali definitely was teaching us to do whatever the procedure and the policy of the time. Drew Ali is his teachings are instructing his Moors to follow suit. You can find that in the Moorish Guide newspaper article entitled "A Divine Warning by the Prophet for the Nation." All right. And look, right? This is a copy of the actual membership application, all right, that one would utilize. Let me see here. That one would utilize in order to receive nationality according to this Clock of Destiny doctrine. Oh, wait a minute. All right. And again, I'm not going to go too deep into all of his astrological research. We're going to go specific. We're going to keep specifically to nationality, citizenship, and its applicability. All right, Article 3 of the Moorish Zodiac Constitution. It says the Moors, referred to as Negroes, definitely can never become members and citizens of the Union Society of the 48 states. Doctrine. And just split that like that. All right, we have CMB over here. And Drew Ali over here. All right. So CMB teaches that his Moors can never be citizens of the Union States Drew Ali teaches that his Moors have always been All right, just for reference. Again, the divine warning by the prophet for the nations. Here we go. Chapter 47 of the Holy Quran in the Moorish Science Temple of America. This is all of Noble Drew Ali's doctrine that I could find thus far. Drew Ali says that, yep, chapter 47. It says, chapter 47, verse 17. This is why the nationality of the Moors was taken away from them in 1774 here in America. So Drew Ali was saying that we already had national recognition here in America. And that we were citizens. As a matter of fact, allow me to show where Drew Ali classifies his Moors as citizens. Himself even as a citizen of this particular government. No other government. All right. So what we're looking at here is a copy of Drew Ali's civic organization, okay, the Moorish Temple of Science, and you can see that here just above my thumb. Oh, damn, I need the light. I need to figure this out here. All right, maybe that'll. All right. There we go. All right, Moorish Holy Temple of Science. All right. Moorish Temple of Science. Secretary of State of Illinois, right? And then over here, right, there's a declaration of the members, right? And it literally says Drew Ali, excuse me. It says Drew Ali, Lomax. This is James Lomax. This is Lomax, who is to become Lomax Bey, right? It's got all these other individuals' names. And then it says, just underneath my finger, I'm trying to get the light to hit it right. Citizens of the United States. There we go. Citizens of the United States. So Drew Ali already incorporated himself and his organization as citizens. He says, the lawmakers, he says, therefore they cannot be forced or drafted into the Union, USA Army, or military service to fight for the Magna Carta Code of white supremacy against themselves. And again, we're going to focus, one of the main focus is the use and interpretation of, of white, right? Let me see here. Yes, white supremacy. All right. It says the lawmakers there we go. It says the lawmakers of the 48 states union order cannot force the Moors, the Bays and L's, to pay taxes because taxation without representation is a supreme violation of the Moorish Zodiac Constitution birthrights of Islam. Okay, so what does Noble Drew Ali have to say about citizenship? Newspaper article. That was a political statement that he had just made, right? He says again, The lawmakers of the 48 Union State, the lawmaker of the 48 States Union order cannot force the Moors, the Beys and Els, to pay taxes, because taxation without representation is a supreme violation of the Moorish Zodiac Constitution, birthrights of Islam. He goes on to say, when the Union lawmakers denounce their immoral Magna Carta Code and resort to the Moorish Zodiac Constitution, then the Moors are compelled to pay taxes, because every one of the nation will be equally represented by it. So he's talking about representation in the U.S. government. Okay? Yeah, right. All right. Representation. What does Noble Drew Ali tell us about representation for his Moorish Americans? I'm going to show you real quick. Again, 2 newspaper articles. The Moorish got a newspaper, one entitled Political Slavery and the other one entitled All Registering. Let me read All Registering first. The 3,000 Muslims of the Grand Temple and the West Side Temple are making ready to register every man or woman in order to take the lead for the various candidates whom they have been instructed to vote for. Alderman Lewis B. Anderson, the Honorable George W. Blackwell, the Honorable Oscar DePriest, Honorable H. Jackson, all working through the regular Republican organizations, of which the Honorable Daniel M. Jackson is our matchless leader, all know the whole situation and have their own way and time to give the order to go, and the Muslims will be ready. Okay? So let me just stop there real quick, and we'll place up on the board. All right. C.M. Bey's Moors have no political representatives. And mind you, we want to put this is 1940, we'll say 1950. I think he did it in 1952, 47-52. This is this is no later than 1929. So this information over here came before this information over here. Again, I'm trying my best to, or you know what? Let me see if I could do it this way. Let's see. Whatever. Again, forgive the space and whatnot. No, that ain't gonna be helpful because it's still on that light, man. And I apologize. I should have definitely planned for this. I thought that we would be good to go, and realizing that we're not. Maybe if I place it. All right. Okay, there we go. I guess that'll have to work. Okay. So now Drew Ali teaches way back in 1929 that his Moors have political representation. He even named. Now let's go to briefly the next newspaper article called Political Slavery. I'm trying to. All right. This is mirrored. I got to keep remembering it's mirrored. All right. Okay. It says anytime a man or woman fails or refuses to cast a sacred ballot at the polls, they separate themselves from all rights of an American citizen. For surely this is the one connecting medium for a citizen to his nation. They become no more than belated beasts of burdens. There are reasons why certain classes who are more or less independent take no part in politics, since they say they get nothing out of it in such the way of material gain. This is no less than a political slave, since they refuse to voice their sentiments at the polls. Now, again, real quick, this is circa 1929. This is circa 1950. So these people in 1950, in this information, you're being told that you do not have representation, all right, and that you're basically under political slavery. Let me get this. Hold on. We're just gonna go back to what we know, man. I'll figure something else out, man. Hopefully, it's not really helping as far as lighting is concerned. Hey, that looks pretty damn good right there. All right. There we go. That'll work. That will work. That's what we're working on. All right, that's not the document. There we go. All right. Let me finish this. Again, these people they don't have a voice in 1952, right? According to this doctrine, the Moors have not had any political representation. Again, where is it at here? Okay. There are reasons why certain classes who are more or less independent take no part in politics, since they say they get nothing out of such in the way of material gain. This is no less than a political slave, since they refuse to voice their sentiments at the polls. Another form of political slavery, which is probably more prevalent among the less independent classes, is that of being forced into one of the major parties and they're bribed, coerced, or otherwise forced to vote the wishes of someone else, regardless of their own minds. Before there can be general relief for the economic good of all forms of political slavery must be abolished, and every citizen must take his part in the affairs of the nation. All right? So between all registering and political slavery, we see that Noble Drew Ali's doctrine was already treating of Moorish Americans having equal representation. Furthermore, it was stated that Drew Ali's the representatives were, though they were black, they were all of the Republican organization. They were all of the Republic, USA. Okay, here we go. Okay. What's next? Okay, here goes a warning. There is a warning issue, right, by the CMB Clock of Destiny Doctrine. It states, the Clock of Destiny Moorish American Card of Identification. Again, that's A2222141, and this over here is 10105905, and just for certain purposes, you put the 0 there. Okay, so again, this is these are the doctrines, all right, that we're looking at. All right, it states, the Clock of Destiny Moorish American Card of Identification and Constitution has been registered in the Library of Congress and signed by the author C.M. BEY, H. Coley L., A.M. BEY, William Spearman BEY, and Leslie Farrell BEY are the only 4 Moorish Americans of whom have been authorized as solicitors by the author C.M. BEY. The card and constitution must be signed by the author. Beware of forgery or imposters. Taj Tariq Bey gave you these people's information without authorization. That was the disruption between him and the Great Seal National Association of Moorish Affairs, Great GS Nama. Drew Ali was given, Taj Tariq Bey is out here. He can be linked as one of the original propagators of this social club, secular information being distributed to people without authorization. There's forgeries, and to this day, we see many versions of that very same forgery. There are many cards out there stating AA222141. I've seen Hebrew Israelites. I've seen a lot of groups. Mind you, AA222141 is for Native Americans. Mind you. Okay. He says, Article 7, neither can the Moors, the Beys and Els employ white lawyers or Negro lawyers to represent them. The reason for this is that the white people and their Negro slaves definitely cannot represent free Moorish Americans. Okay? So this says that Moors cannot be represented by whites or Negro. Lawyers. So now let me bring to your attention that here in the Moorish Science Temple of America, during the time of Noble Drew Ali, not only did we have Negro Republicans, but we also, over here on this side, Aaron Payne. If anyone's familiar, if you're not familiar with Aaron Payne, go back and take a look at that information. Islam, peace and love, family. Okay, you have your mic off. That's all well. All right. So again, we have Aaron Payne L. Okay. Do a Google search, brief Google search on Aaron Payne. You'll find out that he was one of the most notable, influential black lawyers that were. He was dealing with high-profile cases from, entertainers and just so-called black, black people of notoriety. He was the lawyer for the Moorish Science Temple of America. He was the lawyer for the whole organization. So again, CMB says that we cannot have lawyers. The Moorish Science Temple of America had, we're just going to put it up here, Aaron, Payne, L, and just to be appropriate, Esquire. Okay. Okay. Now again, he's saying that the Negro is the property of the Union slaveholders. We know that. The Moors must respect the court by saying, I affirm. Absolutely. It says here the court has no jurisdiction over them, which automatically makes them qualified to defend themselves by their zodiac constitution law and their blah, 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 blah. Jali did not bring us the Moorish zodiac constitution. Jali brought us the divine constitution and bylaws and told us to utilize that in tandem with the U.S. Constitution, which, as we go a little further, you'll see that those who follow CMB are against. They are anti-United States. Period. They are foreign Muslims up in the Rosh. Okay, so now we're actually going to go into this information, right? We're going to go into this information here. This is the misinformation. This is truth and falsehood strangely mixed. And again, we're going to go through this information and see what jumps out at us. Okay. Clock of Destiny. This is page 5, by the way. You'll see that I have highlighted. I have information that's highlighted so that I can stick to what I'm talking about, not get lost, and not have to go through all of this information. It says, persons who possess the applied knowledge of the science of astrology always employ the terms such as science, truth, or facts, rather than the mystic magic terms employed in religious mystery, namely Allah, God, Jehovah, Jesus, and Christ. These 5 magical religious terms breed only false fear, mental confusion, conflicting opinions, and secret hatred. So, on this side, Allah, God, and we'll see religion, Islamism. We'll get to that, right? All of this, according to CMB, equals mental slavery. Now, if you follow Noble Drew Ali's information, you'll know for a fact that Allah, God, Islamism, etc. This was the vehicle or the vessel for him to remove mental slavery. Okay, so let's dig a little deeper. Let's use that hammer. Okay, Jesus Christ, all of these things, all of this, every last one of these terms, Allah, God, Jehovah, Jesus, and Christ, are found within the Holy Quran of the Moorish Science Temple of America. For a fact. It is there And so again, we have CMB telling us that what Drew Ali gave us is not sufficient. But there are Moors out here saying that CMB was an adept who preserved our Moorish nationality. All right. If at any time you have anything that you wish to bring to it, beloved. Oh, word, my man, is Jumu'ah Mubarak. Happy holy day. Pardon self. All right. If there's anything that you desire to bring to the table, beloved, by any means, join it.
I'm still a baby. I'm still a baby more. In a sense, I still have a lot to learn, but I still carry a lot of knowledge with me. So I'm here to learn. When I seen you, I had to stop because you got all them Jesus people, and I'm above that.
Right. Okay. Well, alhamdulillah. Appreciate you.
Allah.
And there's a brother, someone said, I was told by an elder that CMB was kicked out of the temple. So I've heard that. I can neither confirm nor deny that, but I can assume and conclude that if this is what he was attempting to teach, right, within the temples. Drew Ali brought us Muhammadan Freemasonry. That's what he gave us. He was a Shriner who took all of the negativity that was applied to our science and told us that it was open to everybody, which is different from this Moorish Master Mason, 33rd, 360 degree, who will again continue to find that he's making a separation between the Mohammedans and even the basic classification of white, which refers to any of the original peoples of Europe, we know that, the Middle East, or North Africa. Mind you, Drew Ali told us that we're North Africans. He also told us man cannot be black. Why? Because man is made in the image and after the likeness of God. And then later on, he tells us, will you define white? And we find out that white and God are the same. Let me see here. I do believe the Great Seal deals. Yeah, they deal with that. And that's why I'm not disregarding I'm not even bringing up any of the science in this information outside of what is being presented as nationality and citizenship. The science is 100. All right, but again, it's foreign doctrine because it's steering Muslims, Moorish Americans, away from unifying with humanity by accepting their true status of white. As we'll go through this, you'll see that he has a disdain, a dislike for even the concept white, which we know that Allah is white. The rulers of the land are white. North Africans are white. Anyway, let me continue. What else do I have here? Okay. He says, this is page 9, names such as Negroes, black, colored, Indian, red, African, I'm a North African descendant, by the way, and white, quote, are slave labels. Let me say that again. According to the Clock of Destiny doctrine, names such as Negroes, black, and colored, we already know this. All right? But he includes Indian, red, African, Jew, and white are all slave labels of the Roman cross order of segregation, hatred, slavery, and exploitation. All right? Drew Ali told us that blacks, Negroes, and coloreds, that's a no-no, right? But Drew Ali didn't tell us first and foremost that Indian was a negative. He didn't tell us that. And we can see that on the race and the ethnicity and identification form, right? There's an American Indian concept in America, right? There's a white concept in America, right? Just showing y'all. So again, this information is telling you something that is in direct contradiction to what this brother told us. Joel told us that we are the white. We are the pure race. That is Muhammadanism. In Islam, all one need do is say, I am Muslim. I believe in Allah. And they are identified by all other Muslims as Muslim. They are pure. They're white. Legally. All right. And white also refers to Afro-Asiatic. And when we say the concept of Afro-Asiatic, we must always take into consideration Southern Europe, Afro-Eurasiatic, because this was all under Muhammadan and Semitic language that connects with Muhammadanism, if you will. All right. When you see these Moors out here, they got a lot of hate in their hearts. Just know, and I don't feel like a lot of them, they're running around with the AA 2221 for one. I don't feel, it's just my opinion. I don't feel as they've even read this stuff. I feel like they may have gotten portions of it and then ran with it. And they don't even know what they're saying, because you'll hear these Moors say, we're Aboriginal, Indigenous Americans and this and that and that and this. And they'll say Islamism and all of this. But this brother in his doctrine told you that Indians ain't shit and Islamism is not the way. Anywho, he says, this is page 12 of the Clock of Destiny, book 1. It says, the history of the Moorish nation lies in the library of every state of the Union. The history of the Moorish nation, our forefathers, lies hidden in the library of every state of the Union, and also in the library of practicality, and also in the library of practically every home of European Americans. And then he has in parentheses referred to as white people. So he's given the white classification of purity to just the Europeans, and then he's also giving it to the Christian Europeans as opposed to the Muslim Europeans, such as Prophet Muhammad the Conqueror of Turkey, who fulfilled the prophecy of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam from Arabia. He was a pale-skinned Turk. He was a European pale-skinned Turk who fought in the cause of Islam and overthrew the Roman Empire or the Byzantine Empire and claimed it for Islam. All right. He goes on to say, it is impossible for the people of heavy olive and light olive hue of skin, commonly known as dark brown and light brown, to ever become a Christian, which is false. But all right. Because Drew Ali says that we honor all divine prophets. True Christianity is its foundation is Islamic principle. Islam just means equity. Thank you, brother. Happy holiday, brother. Holiday to you. Yeah, put that down and give me greetings, please. This is thank you. Take that over there for me. Give greetings to the Muslims all over the world on this blessed day.
Islam.
Okay, it says it is impossible for the people of heavy and light olive hue of skin, commonly known as dark brown and light brown, to ever become a Christian because of this fact. Speaking of what he spoke about earlier. The Christians worship a white son of God. Jesus was a white son of Allah. Ali was a white son of Allah. You are a white son of Allah. Again, we're comparing doctrine. In this doctrine, you're white. In this doctrine, you're not white. Okay? In this doctrine, the color does not depend upon your skin tone. In this doctrine, it's specifically dealing with one skin tone. All right. Okay. He says, and his white mother Mary. Where did Jesus and Mary come out of? They are descendants of the people of the land of Canaan, right? Aren't we people of the land of Canaan? Absolutely. We're white, right? Anywho, he says the Christian God is definitely white or ruddy, meaning that their skin can turn red. I'm ruddy. I'm ruddy. This is ruddy. This is reddish brown. And I'm white, by the way. Again, he says, you might ask yourself this question. What chance do I have to enter the gates of the Christian heaven dominated by a white God? Remember your lessons. Your lessons from Drew Ali teach you that God is white and that man can't be black because man is made in the image and after the likeness of God Allah, which is white. Okay. And again, I'm just skipping along, right? I'm not reading, I'm just pointing out what I've gone through to speak about in this discussion. He also says, on the contrary, there was a specific reason for the new masses of humanity referred to as white people. So he's saying that white people are a new class of people. That's not what Noble Drew Ali was teaching. Chapter 47 teaches us that all of the inhabitants of North Africa are of Canaanite descent. Middle Eastern, white. That's North African, Middle East, white. Are all of the same human race. These are the ancient peoples. The Europeans, the last one. A person having origins in any of the original peoples of Europe, the Middle East, or North Africa. Again, we see this, what I consider hate mongering. On page 13, middle paragraph, he says a great battle between let me just read this part. Yeah. He says the corrupt process of the selfish, jealous, amalgamated rulers of the Muslim world converted the society of Islam into regimentation, human caste, slavery, economic and social degradation, crime, bloodshed, and human destruction, from which was born the army of the mystic banner of the cross, led by the militant white women, or the Patagonia. I know y'all have always heard talk about Patagonia. Yeah, all right, whatever. Or Patagonia blondes, supported by many wise Muslim women and sons, struggling for freedom, which resulted in some 364 years of intermittent conflict from Peru to Alaska, and across the Pacific and Atlantic Oceans in the Northern Hemisphere. Then he says, a great battle between two different types of religious superstitions. Hear me. He said, Islamism and Crossism, referred to as the great battle between the crescent and the cross, or Muhammad and Christ. This nigga just told you that Islamism is not, it's not it. These are his words, not my words. This is his doctrine. Let me read it again. A great battle between two different types of religious superstitions, namely Islamism and Crossism. What did Jurali bring me? He brought me Islam. He brought me the doctrine of Islam, which is Islamism. Ism means doctrine. This man is telling you Islamism is superstition. You have Moorish Americans running around with AA 222141 talking about Islamism, Islamism, Islamism. And the doctrine under which they stand negates Islamism, negates it, dismisses it as superstition. Down a little further, he says, upon this founded the myth of black and white. Upon this is founded the myth of black and white people's blood, which was born out of the church system. That is correct inasmuch as there were a group of Middle Eastern people in Spain who had Yemeni, Arab, Jordanian, right? They had Canaanite lineage. They desired to pull themselves away from the whole. They didn't wish to deal with the North Africans and the Middle Easterners, Nemo, if you know, right? They desired to be their own race. It is from these people that we get Europe instead of Eurasia. Okay? But their concept was the darker you are, the more Muslim you are. And the more pale skin you are, the more Christian you were. That was not the original teachings in the European world. Okay? He says that he's telling you it was founded out of the Christian system, the Roman Church. Prior to the Roman Church, everyone was equal. Everyone was white, particularly, especially according to the doctrine of Islam, of al-Islamiyya. All right. Code of the clans. I should have got into that a little little more. We got any more info in here? Okay, you see an orange stripe. See an orange stripe? I put it aside. Okay, here we go. This is page 22. Second paragraph. The doctrine of the white image was born in the United States of America or colonial North America through bloodshed. What? What are we talking about? Are we relating to people's skin tone, or are we relating to people's quality or character? Drew Ali was telling you about quality and character. Those are called standards. This nigga's over here talking crayonism. He's talking crayonism. And again, those Moors who run with the AA 222141, most notably you'll find them saying things like people aren't crayons, which they're not wrong. But again, your man's talking crayon as it relates to nationality. And mind you, he's saying you're not blacks, Negroes, coloreds, or Indians, and you're not white. Well, then what the fuck are you? Okay? Now, CMB registered AA 222141, right? And then those who came later, the Great Seal, they're the ones, if my memory serves me correctly, who took this and made this about Native Americans. If you were to step off, just right here, right now, if you were to step off and go back to my profile, it might be the first or the second, the very first, or whatever. You'll see that I actually go to the USCIS, right, the Homeland Security website. I type in AA 222141. I hit go on a search engine, and it reads as a Native American. But he said you're not American. He told you you're not Indian. That's about the one thing that I can say that both of these doctrines preserve. We're not Indians. The American Indians have their own classification. They have their own rights. They have their own representation. Anyway. Okay, we got some more here. This is page. Let's see if I might have missed anything. I don't wish to miss anything. All right. This is page 38. He says, remember, we are Asiatics. Okay. So that's what he's saying we are. We're Asiatics. The majority of the human family, he says. And the white people are Europeans, the minority of the human family. Now, according to our Moorish Science Temple of the Holy Quran, as a matter of fact, the Holy Quran and Moorish Science Temple of America. Some of my favorite joints right there too. Give me a second. He has there's an Asiatic covenant. Okay. And we're going to read just briefly because it's only about 6 or 7 verses. If anybody knows what chapter the Asiatic covenant is, by all means, chirp in. I'm going to find it though because it's in here. Okay, here we go. I found it. Chapter 25. Okay. Chapter 25 of the Holy Quran of the Moorish Science Temple of America reads.
What page? What page?
Well, I wouldn't know what page. No, this is in the Circle 7.
Yes, we got page numbers in the circle 7 at the top.
Okay, go. I don't know what page, but it's the 25th chapter.
Okay. Thank you.
No problem, love. Let me know when you got there and I'll go.
I'm there.
All right. Now, mind you, CMB said that we are the Asiatics, the first people, and that the white people, which literally applies to Asiatics, are a subgroup. Now, let's see what the Asiatic covenant tells us. Ye are the children of one father. Who's he talking to? All of humanity. Right. All of humanity. Provided for by his care. And the breast of one mother. So who's our mother? We got one father, one mother. It's part itself. It says, and one mother hath given you son. Let the bonds of affection therefore unite thee with thy brothers, that peace and happiness may dwell in thy father's house. In Islamic tradition, what this is talking about, the second verse, is every time you see a Muslim, Salaam alaikum, you greet your brother. Even if we split the pole, it's like, hey, every time I see my brother or my sister, I show those bonds of affection. Salaam alaikum. Okay. It says number 2. I just read that, pardon self. Number 3. And when you separate in the world, remember the relation that binds you to love and unity. And prefer not a stranger over thy own blood. Now, who is a stranger? Anyone who says that humans are subdivided is a stranger. Anyone that says, hey, you know what? You're other than God's creation. That's a stranger. A Jew is not a stranger to me. A Buddhist monk is not a stranger to me. An American, and these are not strangers to me. Strangers to me are people who say, you know what, you're of a different species of life on Earth. You're subhuman. Anywho, and again, what's CMB telling you? He's telling you that there's a class of people who are subhuman. Number 4, if thy brother is in adversity, assist him. If thy sister is in trouble, forsake her not. I believe this is an application to the divine constitution and bylaws, if you know. And then 5, so shall the fortunes of thy father contribute to the support of his whole race. His whole, all of humanity. And his care be continued to you all in your love to each other. Is Drew Ali out here talking about these Europeans are different than everybody? Is he saying, hey, you know what? They're enslaving us. Drew Ali, nowhere in Drew Ali's literature does he say that the Europeans are doing to us what we haven't allowed for them to do. Drew Ali let us know, and again, you can read it in a lot of his information, that it is the behavior of the Moorish Americans that cause segregation, Jim Crowism, and all of that. Because they accepted being black rather than being white with everybody. Let's see, where else we got here? He says, I'm going to just read this whole one out because I think this is utterly disrespectful. Therefore, they badly need our help. And the only way that we can help them is to denounce that which they have, that which they have taught to us to believe, and accept our own culture, science. We get out of life as good as we create. When we rely upon others to study the secrets of nature and think and act for us, then we have created in life for ourselves that which is termed hell. Absolutely. So study science and support your constructive thoughts by positive action, thereby solving your own economic problems. As it stands today, the Asiatics of the USA are begging and relying upon the white people to solve their economic problems. Remember, beggars have no choice. So let the dead bury the dead, thereby realizing the fact that you are one among the living Asiatic nation, the fathers of civilization, Islam. I believe that might be the actual last. Let me see real quick, because now I'm about to tear him up. All right. So he tells us that the Moorish Americans are begging. We're begging all these other people to help us, right? And he's saying that as if that's a bad thing, right? Newspaper article entitled "A Divine Warning by the Prophet for the Nations." Drew Ali is begging and pleading with white people to help him bring his people out of the darkness and into the light. That's what he's doing in that whole statement. Let me read it to you. Mind you, this brother is teaching segregation. CMB is teaching segregation. Drew Ali does not teach segregation, and actually has instructed us to be wary of such. But let me read this divine warning. And as I read it, before I read it, I would like to qualify, right? Imagine me, right? I'm Moorish American. You, Imagine you're not a Moorish American. You're an American, but you don't fall under, right, what I fall under. Now imagine that I'm talking to you about helping people like me. And I'm begging you for your support, morally and financially. Because that's what Drew Ali is doing in this newspaper. He's not speaking to his people. He's speaking about his people and asking other people to help him. A divine warning by the prophet for the nations. The citizens of all free national governments, according to their national constitution, are all of one family bearing one free national name. You know what my nationality is? American. American. Yes, I could say Moorish. I prefer in these days to say Muslim American because I'm trying to separate myself from all of this negativity and from all of the and all of the ignorance that is inside of the organizations as well. Because there are Moors out here who are part of actual brand temples who still they don't speak the way I'm speaking. They don't tell you that we're white. They hustle and bustle all day. You're not black, Negro, colored. You're not African American. You're not this, you're not that. You're Asiatic. No, nigga, I'm white. Fuck you mean. Anyway. Pardon. One free national name. Those who fail to recognize the free national name of their constitutional government are classed as undesirables and are subject to all inferior names and abuses and mistreatments that the citizens care to bestow upon them. So he keeps calling us citizens. Mind you, CM Bey tells us we're not citizens. Taj Tariq Bey, RV Bey, Cujo Adwell L, Kush Day, all them nut ass niggas will tell you we're not citizens. Yes, I'm naming names today. It's important. And it is a sin for any group of people, to violate the national constitutional laws of a free national government and cling to the names and principles that delude to slavery. Now, this guy says that white is a name alluding to slavery. This man was telling us, he was guiding us into that understanding. He felt that it was necessary for you. He gave you the path. Now you follow it so that you can see it. Right? Remember, white is God, man. God is white. Man and Allah are one. Man can't be black because he's made in the image and after the likeness of God. And God is white because white means purity. Purity means God. God means ruler of the land. All right. I, the prophet, was prepared by the great God Allah to warn my people to repent from their sinful ways and go back to that state of mind, to their forefathers' divine and national principles, that they will be law abiders and receive their divine right as citizens, not according to the divine constitution and bylaws, not according to the Moorish Zodiac Constitution, but according to the free national constitution that was prepared for all free national beings. Not just the Moorish Americans, all Americans. Remember, Drew Ali's not talking to the Moors. He's talking about them. He's seeking help from other people, and he's bringing this to their forefront. Hey, this is how it all applies, yo. They are to claim their own free national name and religion. He's talking about his people. There is but one issue for them to be recognized by this government. What is this government? It's not the Moorish Science Temple of America. That's not the government. It's not the Moorish National Federal Republic. It's not the Moorish American Consulate. It's not the Moorish American National. It's none of that. It's the U.S. government, and he's going to tell you. I'm going to bring you to it. Appreciate y'all sharing the live. He says, there's but one issue for them to be recognized by this government and of the earth. So that's the United Nations. He said nationally and internationally. And it comes only through the connection of the Moorish Divine National Movement, which is incorporated in this government and recognized by all other nations of the world. Is the Moorish Science Temple of America recognized by all other nations of the world? No. Does it have the capacity? Yes. Through what? Through the U.S. government. The Moorish Science Temple of America is an American institution, secured under Constitution. CM BEY is telling you again, don't even fuck with the U.S. Constitution. That's where we get this idea that even today in the temples where they want to tell you that the government is in the temple. Government is not in the fucking temple. Drew Ali gave us a template so that we can be guiders and come out and see what we're supposed to see on the outside just as well. No problem, beloved sister. No problem. All right, let me get to it. Drew Ali says, and through it, meaning this movement, they and their children can receive the divine rights as what? As citizens, unmolested by other citizens. And that they can cast a free national ballot at the polls under the free national constitution of the state's government. This nigga told us that we have no political representation and that we can never be citizens of the USA. That's not what Drew Ali is saying. He's saying that we're supposed to go through the state and not through the federal elections, the 15th Amendment. Let me continue. Now, this statement is used a lot in the Moorish movement, right? From one Moorish American to another, as if the instruction was given to Moorish Americans. This instruction that I'm about to read, was not an instruction to Moorish Americans. You who doubt whether I, the prophet, and my principles are right for the redemption of my people. See how he keeps bringing to mind his people because he's speaking to other people? Go to those that know law in the city hall and among the officials in your governments and ask them under an intelligent tone, and they will be glad to render you a favorable reply. Why? Because they will be glad to see me bring you out of darkness into the light. Drew Ali told other Americans, immigrants, whoever, whatever, go wherever you're from. Go and see if these principles are universally applicable. If you don't believe me, go in your own governing bodies, within your own jurisdictions, right? And see if what the fuck I'm saying is a hit or miss. Pause. Where are we at? He says money doesn't make the man. It is free national standards and power that makes a man and a nation. So the same thing that makes a man makes a nation. So I'm an American citizen. I can be represented by white lawyers. Again, I'm a citizen of the Union. Again, I'm white. He says, the wealth of all national governments, gold and silver and commerce, belong to the citizens alone. This nigga said that we're not citizens. Sim Bey told you you're not citizens. Taj Tariq Bey told you you're not citizens. R.V. Bey, Jamal Abdullah Bey, Sundiata El, Light Tajiri Bey, Kush Day, Ninti El Bey. God forbid, even Empress Veriasi Ghosted El Bey. They're telling you you're not fucking citizens. You have no rights here in America under that government. Now listen, he says, the wealth of all national governments, gold and silver and commerce, belong to the citizens alone, and without your national citizenship, by name and principles, you have no true wealth. So if I'm not recognized as a national citizen, then all of the money, the gold, the silver, and the commerce does not belong to me. Those resources are not for my benefit. I didn't pledge anything, so I don't get anything out of it. Drew Ali said, declare your national. That's a pledge. Declare your nationality. That's what he's telling the people. Right? Anyway. And I am hereby calling on all true citizens that stand for a national government and the enforcement of the Constitution. Again, what Constitution is he talking about? He can't be talking about the divine Constitution because he's speaking to non-Muslim. He's speaking to non-members of his group. He's speaking to non-members. All American citizens, but not those who are of his own particular group. He's reminding some people about some things. All right? He says, and I am hereby calling on all true citizens that stand for a national free government and the enforcement of the Constitution to do what? To help me in my great missionary work. Because I need support from all true American citizens of the United States of America. So he just said he's a citizen of the United States. And he's begging, he's begging. He's going to tell you he's pleading. He's pleading to all other American citizens alike. Because his own people who are running around here crashing out retarded. Whether they're blacks or they're Aboriginal American Indians. Whatever. They're crashing out. Because I need support from all true American citizens of the United States of America. Help me to save my people who have fallen from the constitutional laws of the government. So he can't be talking about his constitution. Because he just told these other Americans to help him get his people who have fallen from the American constitutional government. I'm depending on your support to get them, who is them? Moorish Americans, back to the constitutional fold again, that they will learn to love instead of hate, and will live according to love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, supporting our free national constitution of the United States of America. So Drew Ali just told you what constitution he's enforcing. You got to be a U.S. citizen in order to enforce that contract. But you have to be a U.S. national and citizen. You must connect the two. I love my people, and I desire their unity and mine back to their own free national and divine standard. Because day by day, who are they? His people. Who are his people? Moorish Americans. Have been violating the national and constitutional laws of their government by claiming names and principles that are unconstitutional. Now, mind you, at this time, he's talking about the blacks and the Negroes. He's saying that his people are claiming to be blacks and Negroes, and that these are unconstitutional, right? According to the standard form of ethnicity and race. Black or African American is the only category that does not have a person having origins in any original people. Now see that? Every other category has original peoples. And he's saying, yo, we're original people too. SF 181, absolutely. Absolutely. All right. Now listen, because I'm, you know what? I want y'all to keep in mind, the white race deals with Europeans, Middle Easterners, and North Africans, okay? Because this statement is real revealing, right? Check it out. If Italians, Greeks, English, European, Chinese, Japanese, Turks, and Arabians, Eurasian, are forced to proclaim their free national name and religion before the constitutional government of the United States of America, not before the Moorish Divine National Movement, not before the Divine Constitution of bylaws. If Italians, Greeks, English, Chinese, Japanese, Turks, and Arabians are forced to proclaim their free national name and religion before the constitutional government of the United States of America, it is no more than right that the law should be enforced upon all other American citizens alike. What group of people was missing from the Italians, the Greeks, the English, European, the Arabs and the Turks, the Middle Easterners? Who's missing? What other group of Asiatics is missing? North Africans. Drew Ali is teaching his people that they are North Africans. They're Moroccan. They have Egyptian brothers and sisters, Algerian, Tunisian, Tripolian, whatever the case may be. All of these are Asiatics. All of these are Moorish, Muslim, as well as, again, the Turks, right? The Pakistani. You even have other nations in Europe like Bolivia, Albania, etc., who also have Islamic continuity. They're Asiatics. He's saying if it applies to these people, then it applies to all other American citizens alike. And he's representing his group of American citizens as North Africans. Not as American Indians, not as Ethiopians, not even as Hebrews. We're Moroccans, we're North Africans, descended from the land of Canaan. Came out of Asia into Africa. We did not come out of Africa into Asia. We came out of Asia into Africa and then into the Americas. All right. In all other governments, when a man is born and raised there, so in all other governments, when a man is born there and raised there, he's an active member of society. In all other governments, when a man is born and raised there and asked for his national descent name, and if he fails to give it, he is misused, imprisoned, or exiled. That is for any group of people that fail to answer up to the constitutional standards of law by name and principles. Because to be a citizen of any government, you must claim your national descent name. Because they place their trust upon issuing names formed by their forefathers. So I'm Moorish American. I'm Muslim American. I descend from the Muslims. That is my national, that is my ummah. And then we've all agreed to link up here in America. So I have my national descent name, being Moorish family, American, the American Moors. Not the North Africans in North Africa, but North Africans born and raised in America. If I don't know what I am, I could be out here, if I'm out here running around with fake makeshift IDs, I could be stopped on the highway and taken to jail. All right. And again, it says because they place their trust, this is trust law, upon issue and names formed by their forefathers. The word Negro deludes in the Latin language to the word nigger. The same as the word color deludes that to anything that is painted, smeared, varnished, or dyed. D-Y-E-D. And every nation must bear a national descent name of their forefathers, because by honoring thy fathers and thy mothers, your days will be lengthened upon this earth. It's trust law. African Americans they don't know where they come from. They don't know when they say they're West African or they're Sub-Saharan, these are not governments. South Africa is a government, but there's no country on Africa called West Africa. And we know in North Africa, we're particularly identified as Moroccan descent. So we know where we come from. Through your free national name. Wait. He says, these names have never been recognized by any true American citizens of this day. Black, Negro, colored, African American. He's telling you that Moorish has always been it. Always. Right? Moorish connects you to who? To the Eurasians. That's the Trinity. Europe, Africa, Asia. That's Afro-Asiatic. Those are the Asiatics of Islam. Of Abraham, of Abrahamic faith. All right. He says, through your national name, you are known and recognized by all nations of the earth that are recognized by said government, national government in which they live. You see here? No, it's not the Al-Ghribi. That's not. No. Stop that shit. That's information that comes off of this side of the board. I would advise you to go to read chapter 47 in all the Quran and Moorish Science Temple of America. America is not Morocco. The Moroccan Empire was here just like the Ottoman Empire is here. Is this Turkey too? The Moroccan Empire was here just like the Egyptian Empire. Egypt and Morocco are two different places. Is this Egypt too? Is America Egypt and Morocco, and how so? Anyway, that's that Taj Tariq Bey type shit that we're showing, that we're revealing, is not in alignment with what Noble Drew Ali presented for his Moorish Americans, fam. Straight up. All right. He says, the 14th and 15th Amendments, slave descendants with uh, Congress made citizenship and the subsequent privilege of voting through that citizenship, right? The 14th and 15th Amendments brought the North and South in union, placing the Southerners who were at that time without power with the constitutional body of power. And at that time, 1865, the free national constitutional law that was in force since 1774 declared all men equal and free. And if all men are declared by the free national constitution to be free and equal, since that constitution has never been changed, there is no need for the application of the 14th and 15th Amendments for the salvation of my people and other citizens. You can come up here and talk to me all you want, fam. Let's talk. If you feel it, or sister, I pardon. I don't know. It says nobleman. So come make yourself known, please and thank you. I'm gonna wait for you. If you don't come up, I'm gonna kick you out the room. All right. Pardon yourself. All right. Yeah, nah, I already did my thing. Pardon yourself. Cut you off. All right, back to it then. So there isn't but one supreme issue for my people to use to redeem that which was lost. And that is through the above statements. Then the lion, the rich and poor, and the lion, the rich and the rulers, and the poor, the lamb, the poor, can lie down together in yonder hills, and neither will be harmed. Because love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice will be reigning in this land. So Drew Ali said that when the Moorish Americans are aligned with the rest of the Americans, then we can have economic balance. The creditors and the debtors of the nation can live together in harmony, and neither will be harmed, because the law of equity will be applicable. All right, where we at? In those days, the United States will be one of the greatest civilized and prosperous governments of the world. What government? He said the United States government. Drew Ali said the United States. That was not an error. He said the United States, in those days, when these principles are carried out, the United States government. Let me read that part again. In those days, the United States will be one of the greatest civilized and prosperous governments of the world. But if the above principles are not carried out by the citizens and by my people in this government, the worst is yet to come. Because the great God of the universe, see how he did that? Whatever you call God, the great God of the universe, is not pleased with the works that are being performed in North America by my people. By my people. And this great sin must be removed from the land to save it from enormous earthquakes, diseases, etc. If his people, the Moorish Americans, are not engaging with other American citizens, right, to uplift one another, the worst is yet to come. And I, the prophet, do herein believe that this administration of the government, being more wisely prepared by more genius citizens, that believe in their free national constitution and laws. And through the help of such classes of citizens, I, the prophet, truly believe that my people will find the true and divine way of their forefathers and learn to stop serving carnal customs and merely ideas of man that have never done them any good but have always caused them harm. So Drew Ali said that, once my people get this information from y'all, we'll be good. Once they get it, once they recognize that the genius of this administration, and they come into it, all will be well. But, okay. So I, the prophet, am hereby calling aloud with a divine plea. Plea. He's begging. He's begging. I am calling aloud with a divine plea. He's begging for mercy. Where we at? To all true American citizens, to help me to remove this great sin, which has been committed and is being practiced by my people in the United States of America. Damn, so now it's the United States of America. A moment ago, it was the United States. Let's continue. Because they know what is not the true and divine way, and without understanding, they have fallen from the light into utter darkness of sin. And there is not a nation on earth today that will recognize them socially, religiously, politically, or economically, etc., in their present condition of their endeavorment, in which they themselves try to force upon a civilized world. What? They will not refrain from their sinful ways of action, and their deeds have brought Jim Crowism. Their deeds have brought segregation, and their deeds have brought everything that brings harm to human beings on earth. Did Drew Ali say that the Europeans are the reason why the Moorish Americans are being enslaved? No. Did Drew Ali tell us that it was anybody else other than our own selves that allowed for segregation and Jim Crowism to be applied? No, he said that was our fault. And they fought the Southerner for all these great misuses. But I have traveled in the South and have examined conditions there. And it is the works of my people continuously practicing the things which bring dishonor, disgrace, and disrespect to any nation that lives the life. And I am hereby calling on all true American citizens for moral support and finance to help me in my great missionary work to bring my people out of darkness into the marvelous light. Out of blackness into whiteness, out of the dark into the marvelous light of American citizenship, of American nationality and citizenship. So, CMB, everything that I just read crushes what CMB stands for. Okay? So in the beginning of this, I'm going to put it back on the board. The question that we will now open up the room for debate with anyone who desires to speak on it. Shit. There it is. Here's the question. Has CMB preserved the teachings of Noble Drew Ali. Now I'm going to open this up for discussion. Sergeant, would you bring me my water? Listen, my water, my tobacco pouch, my papers, and my lighter. Thank you. There's only 2 people in the room, but hey, by all means, floors are now about to be open. I mean, it's been open, but let's see. All right. My opinion is that Sam Bay was a traitor. That's my opinion. My opinion is that anyone who follows his doctrine is a deviant. They're foreign to the doctrine that was brought by Drew Ali. Where CM Bay and all of that information comes, they are anti-government. They're anti a lot of stuff that's American. And we see that Drew Ali was against segregation. He was against segregation. He was not here to segregate. He was here to say, hey, free and equal, equal and free. We can have our own businesses here. It doesn't have to be Europeans involved, but hey, Middle Easterners, North Africans, any and all Muslims who desire to participate in the economic upliftment of the people, by all means, come in. And if you're European and you're not Muslim, we honor Jesus to the point where you can come in under that too. CM Bay and all of that shit is straight cap, y'all. Straight cap. When you hear these people out here talking about, again, Moorish Americans being American Indians, that shit is cap. Moorish American, thank you, sir. Oh, you brought me the notebook too?
You said paper.
Yeah, no, that was the yellow thing are the papers. But it's cool. Did you bring the lighter?
That's usually one, but I'll go with one.
Thank you, my love. Nobody wishes to come up? I'm just sending out invites. What y'all think about that? Oh, you know what? Let me see. Yeah, let me do that. Eddie Robinson Bay. Am on live. Come through. All right. Well, I think I've done what I needed to do. And it's good that it's only been, what, an hour, less than 2 hours. So I appreciate you all for coming. Again, if no one desires to bring anything to the attention, as a matter of fact, yeah. I was writing that down. What? Yeah, Muhammadan Freemasonry is for the white race, North African, European, Middle Eastern, and all who follow the Abrahamic Creed. Thank you, sir. In the United States Union,
It is the pure white race establishing Abrahamic Republican governance, who are the legitimate vanguards of the In God We or the Emmanuel Trust. All Canaanite lineage and nationality. This white race believes in the principle of redemption and salvation through equity, and Jesus' national standards is the example of which the white race follow or adhere to, emulate, and manifest. That quality character becoming of the one God's trustees and beneficiaries. Did bro come through? No. North African, Southern European, Middle Eastern, Asians, etc. descendants are identified under Mohammedan Abrahamic law to be all of one ummah or one family bearing one free national title, Muslim, which means creditor. That is the purity creed, that all are equal and self-reflections in law. There is no compulsion in execution of one's trust, yet all are accepted upon their word. Moorish master masonry, as taught through the Moorish Zodiac Constitution and bylaws, does not accept the white race as its proper designation, and distinguishes its members from the white race union as Native/American Indians. For those of you who are coming to this Moorish information, new to it, who hear things like Moorish Americans or American Indians, that is not the true doctrine of the Moorish American founder. Any of these people out here talking about people of European national descent are subhuman, or not a part of the human race, if you will. Drew Ali did not bring that. That is not a Moorish divine and national concept. Anyone out here saying that Moorish Americans are the Aboriginal Americans? Islam. Yeah, go big, go beret, straight dog. That's my brother right there. Any group of people teaching that humanity is not one family, or that Asiatic doesn't mean the whole human family. Anyone teaching that, that's not Moorish doctrine from Drew Ali. And the Moorish doctrine from Drew Ali that he presents is supposed to be the purest form of information. When we look at CM BEY, as a matter of fact, because I know it's blinding right now. It's not letting me do that. All right, hold on. No, hold on. There we go. All right, and now there we go. There we go. Well, I guess, unfortunately, y'all can't see it.
Yo,
Islam, big bro.
Islam. How does this work, bro? They can hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Sound good.
Okay, cool. How you feeling today?
Damn, I'm trying to get this lighting right. But just, before, I don't know what it is that you want to pull my coat about, but before we get into that, the question at the beginning of this was, has CM BEY preserved the teachings of Noble Drew Ali?
I don't even know who that is. I've heard of him. Who is it?
He was a deviant in the movement.
A deviant.
I'm just gonna go out here and say it. He was a
That's the dude that made the
AA.
Zodiac Constitution.
Yeah, yeah.
So he's a writer. He's a what do you call that these days?
He's his
Uh,
own prophet with his own movement that goes completely against what Drew Ali presented.
yeah, I mean,
This
you know what Drew Ali said what a prophet was, but I think I think his profession is that he's a writer. As
he's
far
an
as I know, I've
astrologer,
only he's a
and
who?
he was a master astrologer and
Okay.
astrologer. As a matter of
Hmm.
fact, shit, I'm sitting here acting like I ain't got. I'll show you because I got his literature, and that's what I was going through. All right. Oh, so I got this nigga's, and I'm gonna just call it coin to coin. I got this nigga's information. Really don't care who don't like it, you know, because I don't like the fact that this nigga out here lying on the people. This isn't the best picture, but oh shit, tripping. All right, this guy right here.
Okay.
He says, oh wow, he talks about the lost tribe of Israel, white people. But yeah, anyway, this dude he established his own order in like 1947.
I
So
gotta turn
that
to
was
these
after
guys.
Drew had left.
So he would be a 1900s influencer. That's what I'm calling these guys from now on.
He's a
He's an
he's a mid 1900s content
influencer.
creator.
Yeah. That's what I'm ruling these guys as. Okay, so CM Bay, a linguistic content creator from the 1900s.
He says
Did
that
he
he was
preserve the teachings of Drew Ali?
so
Um,
supposedly.
no. I'm gonna say no
I mean, so
because.
check this out real quick.
Mhm,
People who are in those more sovereign groups like Tashri Bay and them,
mhm.
they teach that they have this concept where Drew Ali had like 5 adept students who after he had left had taken and received fame and notoriety through the lessons. And they say Elijah Muhammad, Father Divine, Daddy Grace, Prophet Cherry, and this guy CM Bay. And then they further state that of all those 5 people, CM Bay is the only one who preserved the true Moorish identity. And I'm like, no, that nigga didn't.
They said, and how did who? Wait, who said this?
This is amongst Moors who follow this.
Oh, so this is like almost hearsay. Well, not in a
This
negative
is
way.
exactly hearsay.
Okay. So, I'm when I think of preserving what Noble Drew Ali has established, I envision the preservation of what he has established. What has he established? The Moorish Science Temple of America and its literature. Have I seen him specifically mention it, or has any of his literature that I've read? Because I've only read the Zodiac Constitution from him, and that's
He
someone who
doesn't
wrote
make
that,
any
right?
reference to Drew Ali at all.
Okay, so no, the answer is no. According
Right.
from what I know, no.
Not only does he not make reference to Drew Ali directly, but indirectly, he's basically walking down the concepts with the stick that Drew Ali gave us. He said that Islamism is superstition. He says that we're not citizens. He says that there's a difference between white people and Moors. He said
Well,
that
I think if you
he said this. He said that the usage of words like Allah, God, Jesus, Jehovah, and Christ are all boogie woogie.
is this guy still alive, bro? I was want to
No,
bring
that
him in
nigga
for a
dead in
interview.
the grave.
Okay, well, You
But
know.
there are people who have taken from his information. They call themselves the Great Seal National Association of Moorish Affairs, GSNAMA. And
Okay.
from this GSNAMA, you get the Moors Order of the Round Table. And within that, we have Taj. And basically, like, these are the people who started identifying Moorish Americans as American Indians.
Mm-hmm.
And when you look at any information that goes back to Taj Tariq Bey, that's their stance. That not only
Is
are we the
Taj still
original,
alive?
you say?
Is Taj still alive?
Yes.
Where is this guy, bro?
I don't know. Last I heard, the brother was he was down bad. His health was bad. He was in the hospital, and then I guess he was cool now. One of the people in my circle who still has love for that brother was trying to put me on some information, and I politely told him, get that shit the fuck out of my face.
I want to interview these guys, man, before they pass form, man, and at least archive it and document. But I need to have
This
some
brother,
like,
that's the thing. He CM Bay arc. This what I have clock of you. Have you heard of the Clock of Destiny?
yeah.
So I have 1 and 2.
Wait. Brief me on the Clock of Destiny again, so I'm making sure that I actually familiar with what you're talking about.
Oh,
Is this a
man.
website?
It is that too. It is. So let me read to you the preamble. Right, that'll give you an entry understanding. Hold on. That's volume 2. We don't want volume 2. We want volume 1. Where's volume 1? I'll leave it over there. What's that? That's 9. Give me a second. I'll find it for you. This guy speaks heavily against the United States government. And then you see his followers doing the same. Okay, here's the introduction. Damn, I would have seen that. All right, listen. It says this is the introduction to the very first one before you get to the actual. I need to read this all about. Oh man, I see. I done lost a lot of meat. I could have chewed him up on, boys. But anyway, it says the truth cannot be altered and therefore need no apology, and neither doctrine. So fear not. E pluribus unum, Latin, meaning one nation of many races. White men, Moors, Chief Tall Man Dan, Chief Black Thunder, and Chief Two Guns, White Calf. I don't even. Were Eries, the red-skinned Irish German. What nigga? This shit. Hold on. Let me just get to it. I think I'm. I think this is something. But this is all the Indian shit that I wish I'd have seen that just a moment ago before I got off the live feed. Up there.
Does he do any is this just a writing or is he like putting dates and stuff behind this? Because he said so.
Listen,
Well, obviously,
Flock of Destiny, Moorish Constitution and Nationality, Progressive National Culture Club, Moorish Nation, President and 33rd 360-degree Moorish Nation, Moorish Freemaster, right? CMA, founded by CMA at Cleveland, Ohio on August 1st, which is very important if you know. But here's his preamble, right?
Ohio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Drew Ali had already had an establishment of the MSTA out there. I've
So
even shown.
he just trying to do the same thing.
Yeah, yeah. He went, but he went left with it, right? But he's telling us that we, the members of this Moorish Constitution National Culture Club, must
Mm-hmm.
promote organized effort in the category of all legal business enterprises, such as chain stores of necessary human consumption, housing and building programs. Like he's got the program, but then he goes left. We, the Moorish American members of the National Culture Constitution Club, and also the European Americans of the White People's Union Society of the 48 states. Doesn't that sound like Taj?
I really don't know these guys, bro. I know Tyler from like little clips and videos that they start
Okay,
promoting.
I actually met the brother.
Hmm.
I have pictures
Yeah,
of
he's more.
Taj Tariq
These
Bey.
guys, in my mind, these guys are more like they're more historians than anything to me. They're not like
But
I
they're
don't look
not
at them
even
as.
good historians, is my point. When it comes to Drew Ali, and they use the whole point of this segment here was pointing out that there are people who are using Drew Ali, right,
Hmm.
to draw
Hmm.
people in,
Hmm.
but then they're going left with it, and it's causing
Oh,
and it's causing the fitna.
yeah.
It's
Well,
got Moorish Americans in a box. They're all more sovereign citizens. Hold the fuck on. No, we ain't. I know I'm not one because I used to be one. How about that? You know, I was following Taj and all and that CMB shit. Moors are
well,
not to be
I,
taxed and all of that. We're
I feel
American
like this is.
and all of that. We shouldn't intermingle with the European. We're not the white race. And even with the temples, there's a brother I asked you about him yesterday. You said you weren't aware of him. He's with the resurrection temples and shit.
Yeah, see, when it started to get into these like other companies and stuff like that, man, I don't be knowing. I don't be getting into that, bro. That's like me. When I see stuff like that, I see like you got the Nike brand and company, right? When I see a person come up with a resurrection temple of wherever, I just think of a person making a company like Nike, for example, and then they're calling it biking.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, you're like a
You ain't
carbon
got no
copy.
Nikes on. You got some Sykes on, nigga.
Yeah, you got Sykes. And I just look at it at that. I was like, okay, so now I wonder what they're bringing to the table.
And
You
that's
know
what
what
I'm
I'm
showing. What's being brought to the table out of these organizations that are misguiding the people using Drew Ali's program as a foundation.
saying? Hmm.
I know a
Well, he
lot of
talks
these
about
people
that.
come to this Moorish movement, especially if they don't get it out of the temples. They come in with filtered information,
Hmm.
and they lean upon the understanding of people like Taj and others, so they don't go and do their own research. And so now they out here talking about Islam more. You don't know shit about Islam. Yes, the Muslims and then the Europeans. Fuck you mean? There are Muslim Europeans. There are European Muslims. Jurali said, I have European sheiks if you need them, if you want them. Yeah. So again, there's just a lot of deviation. There's a lot of ignorance. And again, what I read to you yesterday about the religious masterpiece of religious literature, right? Where he's talking about other people have put the bullshit into these works in order to propagate their own agendas and shit. You know what I'm saying? For their own gain. And he's saying that, yo, I'm not doing that. I'm giving it to you just raw, uncut. You'll be able to find everything that I'm telling you in all these other books.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
behavior
it's just what's that?
on the surface, the behavior can kind of be, you know, I don't know, but
It can't be condoned. It can be forgiven, but they got to turn on that shit and stay off that shit.
I know one. I'm an advocate in the truth. So in the midst of bullshit, there's always maybe at the minimum a fragment of truth. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
But it resonates with the soul and the heart. Falsehood resonates with the flesh. So I can be like, I could tell you some falsehoods.
Falsehood
Yeah,
resonates with the nafs, the ego.
the flesh.
Yeah.
And because all those are feelings, you know what I'm saying? And the only you have sensations,
There you go.
you have the awareness of sensations and odors and stuff once you took on that fleshly garb, you
Right.
know. So them brothers and sisters who were influenced by Drew Ali, you know, I commend them. But there always has to be that when you're navigating in this world, there has to be that what do you call it? That lighthouse to where a person
Beacon,
can
right.
see. Yeah, they can see like, okay, we're in the direction of this. You know, saying we're not fully off the mark, but I can see the lighthouse. We're headed that way.
Right, right.
I can at least see it.
Or
I
like
can at least
looking
see
at
it.
there'd be a guy that by the North Star. We know it's just over there. We can follow the North Star to get there. We're not quite there yet. I feel.
Right. But like I said, you know, those guys, I look at them as like influencers and like they just and from my consciousness, I've just, you know, observed them like especially at a time when I've heard some enlightening things from all of them. From the author of the Zodiac Constitution, a lot of it from Taj Tariq
Yeah.
Bey. And you know, but that it just circles back to that fragment of truth, which is actually a major beacon light, is Drew Ali and his influencers or influence, you know what I'm saying, on these brothers and sisters. So but there just needs to be that pillar of a light so where people could draw back. So to answer your question again, I think they've added to what he spoke about, expanded on the teachings of what he was talking about. But did they directly direct it right back to the temple? No. Do I think that is
Us tells the
harmful?
more to go to the temple.
Yes. I think it's definitely harmful. That because every foundation has a cultural and religious base structure. Roman Catholic
Again, this
Church.
guy CMB is telling you that religion is bullshit.
Oh, yeah. That's again the behavior.
He's
I
saying
don't
that
understand.
Islamism is superstitious. Superstition.
See, people like that, you know, that's his portion of understanding. Okay, that's cool.
Right. It's in his doctrine though.
Yeah, that's cool. That's fine in his doctrine. But is it truth?
No.
Is there truth in it? 'Cause,
There's
you know,
truth in his doctrine. So
mhm.
the clock of destiny, the only portion that I was actually bringing about because I wanted to preserve the truth, right,
Right.
was what he was talking in reference to nationality and birthright citizenship. All right. I did not touch on any of the esoteric astrology because I know that the astrology to some point is 100. You know, so I don't want to sit there and say, "Hey, this guy was teaching false astrology." No, but he was definitely teaching that he had his own particular group of Moorish Americans. The fact that he entitled, the fact that he used the banner of Moorish, right? That right there to me, that's the misdirection. He could have chose to be anything but that, but he wanted to, he wanted to ride the wave.
Can I add something?
Mm-hmm.
I think those influencers those early 1900 influencers, their doctrine was developed based off of oppression and to avoid oppression and criminality. So obviously in that time there were people who were dealing with they were criminalized and they were oppressed synonymously at the same time. So the whole you are sovereign. We know that. When you're born, what is sovereign? It says you're the supreme ruler of the land. You are. As soon as
Yeah,
you're
you're
born,
born free and equal.
you are. Now it comes to question if it comes to question when your behavior is being observed. If I know I'm the supreme ruler of the land and I'm looking at my neighbor across the street and I want to cause harm to them or destroy their property, now your sovereignty is in question. Now you started the process of oppressing someone, and now justice must take its course. So nowadays you see these sovereign movements. People started getting into this. A lot of people to divert criminality. And the courts know that in the United States of America. A lot of people know that in the world. They're like, oh, you don't have control over me. Okay, well, you don't. I have control over what happens in this land, in this region. Because sometimes you got to take your shoe off and put and be that other person.
Right.
Yeah, if I was the governor
That's
and
love.
you kill someone, we got to bring you into questioning, bro. I gotta investigate this and make sure that there was no harmful behavior behind this. I got to make sure that the intent was aligned with the great Father God and make sure that there was not nothing unjust that happened here. You know what I'm saying? And so people be like, I talk to brothers, bro. I was like, so you think people should just be able to go around and freely do crimes? Because I have a lower self too, man. And I hate to get to the extreme. I don't want to do this on this platform, but people really start to think that that's a great idea. I said, do you really want civil unrest? Do you really think that you want, you know, to live in the realm of the stronger takes over the weaker? Do you really think you want to live in that realm? Because at some point in time, you're going to become old. At some point in time, you're going to meet your match. At some sort of time, your tools aren't going to be as efficient as other tools. You know what I'm saying? That's innovation and stuff like that. So those terms, those groups, that's when they start to flourish because, again, we have people who are oppressed and they were criminalized in this region, in the Americas and stuff like that, due to, amalgamation and just ignorance on both sides. So, but when we're talking about more science and circle back to Noble Drew Ali, he said we know that even the Hebrews, the Israelites, had to deal with different versions of oppression because of what? Their sinful ways.
Right. Because they went against the divine principles that all are one under God.
Yeah. So
They chose to divide themselves from the rest of the people and say, hey, we're better. We're sovereign.
yeah, and even on a deeper note, you don't really have free will like you think. That's like in that one video you posted said that they wanted to get away from the darker skin thing because they knew that means you're more Muslim. What is a Muslim? A servant of Allah. You are a slave. You are. So
we have to take care. We have to keep it in context because in these days when we hear slave in America,
servant.
it immediately has that negative undertone. You and I know that's not the representation of slave is an indentured servant. A law has rights over me. I also have rights over a law, though, as to where a slave has no rights in America.
Okay, you're a servant. If you're a Muslim, by definition, you are a servant to the will of Allah.
I am a professor of God's law.
Right. So there's people who want to get away from this. There's people who don't want to be that. There's people who they don't want to do it.
Right.
I don't want to prostrate. I don't want to be a part of your will.
They don't want to be a
These
part
are
of
the
that.
people, and these are the people who were cast.
Out of the holy city.
Right, right. So we know that these people exist. We know that those people have influenced other people, right?
Now,
So
who
in the
were
midst
cast
of,
out of the holy city? The Moabites were cast out.
that's fine. That's perfect.
I'm just, Deuteronomy
Yeah.
tells us that we left Canaan, being ran out by Joshua, and received permission from the pharaohs of Egypt to settle in Africa, and we formed ourselves kingdoms, one being Morocco, etc. And then we came across the landmass, the land bridge before it was an ocean, into America.
Right. So the fact of the matter is like, where is your intent at? Where is a person's intent at? Are you willfully? Because in law, in the U.S. law, everything is based off of intent, and I
Now,
think that's almost a
In
universal law.
Islam, everything is based off your niyah,
Right.
your intent.
Intent. Or exactly. So some people intend to not be in servitude. Some people, I don't know if you've seen the new Spider-Man with Miles Morales. He was like, they were telling him in the, I think it's called Across the Spider-Verse, the last one they just did. It was like June 2nd, 2023. So the Spider-Verse Council committee came to Miles Morales and they told him, we're all from different versions of the universe, same place, different universes, different time frames. But we come to you to let you know, we know you're Spider-Man, you know you're gifted, you got powers. We cannot allow you to intervene in your father being killed because it's going to ruin the effect of you doing that is going to affect multiple universes. So
Not
us as
his
a
father,
council,
his uncle. It was Uncle Ben.
no, his father.
Oh, okay.
In the Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse with Miles Morales, in his universe,
It was his
I
father.
guess it was his father, right?
Okay.
In multiple universe, the same event was happening too, but this Miles, he wasn't going to allow it to happen. So, and they came to him and told him, they was like, we can't allow you to stop this from happening because
That's
we,
going to change the whole course of the history in the universe.
you save one person could, theoretically, you stop one event could theoretically affect millions of people. So like,
Absolutely.
let's just pick a million people or one,
Right.
so, and he rebelled. He was like, he said, you can't just tell me not to save first of all, you can't come up to me and tell me that my father is going to get killed. And then I'm blessed with these powers and abilities to do whatever is supposed to happen or to save the saving power. And then you're coming to tell me not to. So he rebelled. They tried to capture him and he left. He dipped. You know what I mean? So again, so we're back to people. We don't need no titles, no tribe, no nothing. We're back to the one family of people. People have to make a decision whether they're going to willfully, intentionally be a part of the deific will of the Most High, whatever reserved name people want to use,
Right.
Allah, Yah,
Whatever it
Anu,
is. Right.
whatever it is, whatever one, Jesus. Some people got them all
Right.
different ways, but there's a universal language for order and peace and stuff like that. So people have to make a decision like, are we going to do that? Now, again, back to the people who have already made the decision not to. Now they're oppressed because they've made a willful decision not to. And now they're looked at as a criminal because you don't practice the same things that we practice. So now you're odd, you're different, you're a variable.
And the
So
divine
now,
warning by the prophet Jerali speaks on that to some extent. He says that in any government, in all other governments, when a man is born and raised there and asked for his national descent name, If he does not claim it, he is misused, abused, or exiled.
Mm-hmm.
If you do not connect with your people, you have no protection from the people.
That's fine. That's perfect. Because we all know that, in the monotheistic way of understanding, at some point, this proclamation will be made in whichever three realms it is: the spirit, flesh, the soul plane, whatever plane. We know we've universally accepted that this event will happen. So it's not too particular that a person has to do it here in the plane of manifestation, the flesh realm. I personally don't care. But when my thoughts are summoned is when my environment is affected. So now I care. So now we have to make borders. Now we have to make laws. Now we have to make statutes. Now we have to promote the teachings and understandings of what we need to happen. So, for example, my community, I was upset that the access to the water was cut off. I live in Detroit, right on the Detroit River. Canada's on the other side. There's a river here, and there's more land on the other side for our sovereign people out there. I live on one side of the river, and there's more land on the other side of the river. So, but on my side of the river, the immediate access to the water is cut off and designated in specific areas. We will call them ports, beaches, and stuff like that. So, with that being said, though, there's reasons for that. Protections is protective reasons, security reasons. Now, some people have not reached the pinnacle of that to understand. Well, why is there a border wall here? Why is there border patrol here? Why are there people policing this area? For what? Like, I was downtown with my daughters, and we were walking downtown, and she was like, I don't like all these cameras down here. That's creepy. And I said, these cameras, with a vote, was ordered to be here for your protection and safety. Because if you were out here by yourself and someone wanted to cause harm to you, and there weren't any cameras, there's no trace, there's nothing. Your protection is frail and damn near non-existent. You need a physical eyewitness that could deal with the peer pressure to come and say something if they so luckily had to be in earshot of what happened. Their understanding was evolved. No longer were the cameras creepy. And then, of course, they're only 8 or 9 and 8. I said, and also our U.S. Constitution has ruled that there's no expectation of privacy in the public. And I said, we're at a public park. So I personally want them here because I can't defend you against all adversaries. I will attempt to. If it was like a mob of 20 and they're like, we're taking your 2 daughters, I might could fight off maybe one of them or 2. Maybe one of them or 2, I might could fight them off. So that's why we have to, take our time to establish peace and security. And those people who
Drew Ali even had us out here during his time, lobbying for our own mayors, aldermen, chiefs of police, judges, right? Have you seen it?
knows all more. Mm-hmm.
Remember, I was talking about yesterday. I asked him about the Supreme Business Manager.
Mm-hmm.
It says,
Yeah.
notice to all Moors. Write a letter to the Supreme Business Manager, 3140 Indiana Avenue, Chicago, Illinois, so we know what that is. And let him know what you think of the Moors having their own town, own mayor, alderman, chief of police, judges, city hall, own temples, own lands, own houses, own parks, and own business establishments. And this is November of 1928. So it's no longer the Moorish Holy Temple of Science. It's now the Moorish Science Temple of America. But he was advocating for us like, hey, look, you can have your own jurisdiction. We can have our own communities. We can have our own public officers that are going around making sure that crime is being brought to justice, if crime is being done at all.
Right.
Like there's nothing wrong with us. There's nothing wrong with the police as an organization. There's something wrong with the moral conduct that we see from those who are in those positions. And it's the same within certain movements, organizations within the movement.
Mm-hmm.
It's not that the offices are wrong, but the people who are in those offices who are misled and or just misleading others. I have no problem with the police. I understand what policing is. Hey, if you out here with your turban on as a sister, giving, necking a nigga down in the hall in the alleyways and shit. No, and I'm only bringing that up because Drew Ali makes mention of that happening.
Mm-hmm.
If you're out here doing that shit, and then you're, imagine me in a fest about to lay a nigga out, about to rob the bank. That's going to look bad on all of those who are of my group.
Yeah.
It is up to the people of my group to correct me before I even get to that point. Because if I do that shit and it's made public, they can't help me. They can't help me. Period. Man.
Yeah, I mean, it's about having. I want to say this lightly. There's nothing wrong with pride. It's just it depends on how it's administered and what it's being administered to. You know what I'm saying? So if you have pride, like, hey, I want to keep my neighborhood clean. Like, for example, I'm by the water. I'm in the intersection. This intersection, a lot of people, keyword, a lot of people like to disregard the stop sign.
Yeah.
They like to disregard it. I've seen people at work.
On my street.
Yeah, I've seen people at work and people just traveling completely disregard it at a high rate of speed. Now, have I ever disregarded traffic signs? Yes. Have I ever went over the speed limit? Yes. Have I ever went excessively over the speed limit? Yes. You know what I'm saying? But hopefully at some point in time it comes to a point where you start to observe and like you want better for your community.
Absolutely.
And I think it's beyond the Moorish section of people or whatnot, but it's still a human thing though. Like,
right, it's a universal program. It's a universal concept. So whether it's Moors or not Moors, it applies to everybody. It's going to affect everybody at some point.
Yeah, I mean, because essentially, again, back to the intentional and willful behavior and act. Like, what are we doing? What's the goal here? Are we establishing a so-called quote unquote heaven on earth? Yeah, I think I would like that. But then again, they say heaven is a state of mind. So what heaven is to you may be different to what heaven is to you.
This is
You
true.
might think that stripper poles on the corner is heaven on earth. But again, you can have that just with structure. Like, cause I live in Detroit, 8 miles full of strip clubs and bars and stuff like that. We got a place for that. You don't have to do it out in the public.
Right,
You know what I
right.
mean? And then I got like this, man. I used to have an issue with the police because I lived in two different areas. It had two different intentions at a point in time. At one point in time, I was oppressed, and I because I was oppressed, I was doing criminal. I won't. Well, let me take criminal away. I was acting. I was exercising my lower self to the highest degree possible. So everything the lower self breeds, I was on that. You know what I
Gotcha.
mean? And then at some point in time, you gotta recognize like that don't last forever because more people want peace than they want destruction. And I think justice is always gonna be there to to catch up when stuff goes
Justice
wrong.
is what is your penalty or your reward in equity for your actions, for your investment.
Mm-hmm.
That's all justice is. If your intentions was to do good, then equity could say, "Hey, you know what? Let's look at the intention." Yeah, he made
In
it.
U.S.
Yeah,
law, they say justice is well, actually, I can't say U.S. law, but I've read, I can't remember where, that justice is a reward and a punishment.
yeah, yeah.
It's
So
a
justice.
reward
I
and
can just
punishment.
for a second. When we look at the business, when we look at accounting, justice would be justice would be considered your net profit.
How?
So your net profit is everything that that you hold from your investments after you've you know given given to given everybody else their just due. So if we made a good investment, right, an investment which raises our net profit, that's justice. That's according to our you know.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if we have a negative, right, if we have loss, that too is justice. It's based upon your input. You know, you sow the seeds and you're going to reap what you harvest. If you didn't look at your seeds to know that they were duds and you planted them, you know, you can't go around talking about, oh man, God doesn't love. No, nigga, you had some sterile deeds. You planted sterile deeds. Your investment was lacking.
Yeah.
Justice to me is like the Grim Reaper, if you will. The Grim Reaper is not a bad concept. When it's time, it's time.
Right.
Oh man, he should have, And I've even said it in certain circumstances. Oh, he died too young. No, my right hand man couldn't lead a blow. The blow took him out. He ain't died before his time. This was unfortunately, but this was his justice. This was his penalty. You feel me?
That was his reward.
Yeah, right, right. That was his reward. Your reward is whatever you. And not reward. What is award?
Reward is when you give
No,
something to
what
someone.
is ward? Because read means to come back to it. You feel me?
Well, you tell me what it is. I don't know.
Award is uh, uh, trying to say. I'm trying to find the best.
Well, look it up. Simple definition.
Damn. Oh, yeah, I do got my dictionary here too. I've heard people say award means a slave of the state or a this or a that. It's
So
like
since you're breaking down the phonics of reward, then you need the etymology of reward.
absolutely. Let me see. Ward.
That's a Black's Law Dictionary.
Yeah, first edition. I got the first and the fifth in case
People get
something
weird.
in one, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Ward, guarding, care, charge. As the
Mm-hmm.
ward of a castle, so in the
Mm-hmm.
phrase witch and ward. Number two.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's not number two. A division in the city of London committed to a special guardianship. So ward
Mm-hmm.
would be synonymous with guardianship.
Is that all the
So
definitions?
reward is your regard. Huh.
Go to reward and see where it takes you.
That's why I fuck with you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. I know PQRS R is before S.
What's up, God Sultan? How you say that? Jawad Muhammad Office. What up, though? You all right?
Duwad Muhammad office, yes. And God Sultan is below that.
Okay.
Brother Muhammad has been with us for a minute. Whoever God Sultan is just literally came in.
Okay. He should have got in the Sultan. He should have Jawad Muhammad Office. Let's go. Goddess Warrior just joined. Peace to the Goddess Warriors. Let's go. Is
Damn.
reward not in there?
Okay, I found it.
All right, reward. Let's get it.
Reward, a recompense.
Mm.
That's a word used in Islam a lot. A recompense or premium offered by government or an individual in return for special or extraordinary services to be performed, or for special attainments or achievements, or for some act resulting to the benefit of the public, as a reward for useful inventions, or for the discovery of apprehension of criminals, or for the restoration of lost property. So, ward is property, reward is a restoration of property.
Was that the only definition?
Yeah, for reward, yeah. I could go to
Mm.
the fifth if you feel as though there should be a little bit more.
No, that's fine. But that last explanation to it, it said something on the public justice. So back in the reference that you were making, like if you struck someone with your right fist and they pass form, or not you, a person struck someone with their
Right.
right fist and pass form, and I said that it's a reward. I'm doing a public service because, but this is up to, that takes us back to that term justice. It's either a reward or a punishment. So I ruled from my own governance department that I'm about to do this act for my public safety. Okay, he passed for him. So now with the body to review what happened, was it unjust or was it justified?
And it's all based upon intention.
Intention,
Yeah,
exactly.
energy
There you
was
go.
invested.
Exactly. 100%. I'm glad you got into that financial thing, man, because I rose this morning and I was like, I gotta ask the brother about this UCC.
I can speak on it to the best of my own abilities.
Well, you know, we could uncover, you know, when we team up, we can uncover some stuff, you know
I
what I mean?
fucks with the UCCs though.
Yeah.
I do. I understand their international and uniform application.
Yeah.
And I know again, we're looking at justice. Some people are out there attempted to utilize it with intentions to we'll say squander and or deceive the government.
Yeah.
And
What's
Just
your
like
vision not
the
happening?
concept is like when I tell people about colonialism or the word manipulation. When you first hear it, it already has a negative tone to it, but it's not negative on its own. It's how it's applicable. There's positive manipulation. The act of colonization is not necessarily a negative thing
Mm-hmm.
because to colonize means destruction.
Okay.
All right, but the intention within it. If my intention to colonize is to destroy other people with no good reason,
Mm-hmm.
like you didn't rob me, but I'm gonna just give you the stick too. Bah! What was the intention?
To
Again,
cause
it's all
harm.
about one's
If
niyat.
we
It's all
going off,
about
if we
one's
going
niyat.
off Moorish law, if we going off Sharia law, if we going off any law, and we're basing it off of intention, and then I pretty much think it's the universal law. I seen a video, and it was a sister. She was crying. She said that her son and his friends tried to rob a person,
And he
and
got spanked.
yeah, and they
My
he
mom
he
over
fired
there
him.
talking about. Yeah, go ahead. My bad. Yeah, I
She
see
said
it.
that he over, and I seen the clip, man. And the clip was just so crazy. She said, "You didn't have to do him like that. They only tried to rob you."
Yeah, I've
And it's
seen that weird ass shit.
yeah, and it let me know how dire this information is that people
Bro, I thought
need.
that was AI generated at first when I watched that.
It might be. I don't know.
I don't know. I'm just saying, like that, because that if that's real, then that's really ignorant nigga shit.
I ain't really looking through it, yo. But there was a couple of things I caught, and I was like, "This is AI. This is propaganda. They trying to like push this agenda." They got one of my friends, one of my Christian brothers. They got him. They sent him a video. The algorithm sent him a video to stir up controversy, and he sent it to me. And it was some propaganda from back in June where Iran was threatening to bomb the U.S. or something like that, and then they came to find out that it was really just a military political exercise of strength for the people and stuff like that. And I told him, I said, bro, that's old, and um the people have found out, the internet found out that it was just like a military flex by both
Right.
of the nations and stuff like that. And he didn't say nothing. He was like, he just kind of just put his head down. I said, bro, you gotta watch out, bro. I said, I don't know why they targeted you like that, but they try to rile him up. But so in your first point, we probably could make a point on that board. Does CMBA, what was the exact question?
Does CMB preserve the teachings of Noble Drew?
No, but he will be ruled as a Moorish, a 1900s Moorish content influencer, a late
According to Islam,
1900s.
he's an embezzler to the faith, the creed, and he's an enemy to the U.S. government, according to Drew Ali.
Well, he's dead now, so he can't be an
Yeah,
enemy
yeah, yeah, yeah.
anymore.
But
But
again,
in,
those
in
who follow his
whole,
teachings,
in
right?
whole, in whole, we still got to give him the benefit of, you could be an embezzler and still be a Muslim. You could be
No, absolutely.
so
The
you know what I'm
issue,
saying.
but Drew Ali said that those people. They're not the terminology used is that they are not true Moors. Not to say that they're not Moors, but they're not just like they're like the jinn. They're like the jinn who whisper and shit. You know what I'm saying? Or they're
Yeah,
like the people who are all in your face. Yeah, we good, and they're behind closed doors. They got all types of shit to say about you.
yeah.
He
Well,
falls into that category.
on the greater schemes of things, he could, for you be in that category. But personally, for me, I would. I can't say. That's why I said I wanted an interview to do, but he's already gone, so there's no interview. But we can review his work and come up with a solid, because you know more about him than I do.
Yeah,
But from what I do know, I will say the brother is a a late 1900s Moorish enthusiast influencer.
Manipulator.
And possibly. But one thing I do, you know what I'm saying, in defense of the Duke, I don't know him, but I do know Drew Lee's literature. It says, take these teachings and save yourself. And I know that a lot of brothers have done that exact same act. You know, Elijah Poole or excuse me, Elijah
He
Muhammad.
tells you you're not black, and he tells you that you're white, and then someone else goes and starts teaching uh, other concepts. Then again, they're just not in alignment with what the brother brought. It's not
Yeah, you
pure. It's not pure. It's filtered. It's
off the mark.
yeah. It's bid'ah.
Yeah. So I mean, you know, peace be still to them dudes, though. You know what I'm saying? But we know what it. See, this is the thing about the pinnacle of wisdom. You know where you can see where someone's influence comes from, man. It's like even in sports, like you know, when someone innovates something, they bring something new, and be like, oh, I know where you got that from. Like you can hear a person talk. Like a lot of people hear Kevin Gates talk, but I know he's influenced from the Moorish Temple of America before he went to prison and was blessed with the opportunity to sit down and read and review it and probably fellowship with brothers who have a solid understanding for this. He was talking like that, but he wasn't talking like that because he made some direct quote. He said, what did he say? He said, suspect not something until thou see it or something like that. You know what I'm saying? But he did come home and was saying like, you know, I'm this, I'm that, you know what I'm saying? This is my land, you know, Kingdom of Morocco. But I don't, you know, I don't want validation, bro. I just recognize truth. I think that's my skill is recognizing truth. I see where stuff is and where it's coming from, and I just let it be. You know what I mean? So whatever he does, whatever he has done, I think that it should just be archived. You know, we might if it's too haram, bro, we'll put it in the fiction. Which one is is make believe?
Say that again.
Which one is fiction is fake? Non-fiction is real, right?
That is correct.
So if we have a Moorish influencer, bro, we're making a ruling today. If we have a Moorish
This is
influencer,
the fiqh from the fuqaha. We are making an Islamic ruling.
exactly. And that's the key word too. It goes wrong with it. Fiction and fitna. So your doctrine, your literature, we have not. We want to have an award ceremony for you to let you know we're putting your literature in our fiction section of our library.
Right.
Congratulations.
Right.
In our fiction section, man. Yeah. Congratulations, bro.
Now, look, and now from our fiction section,
Yeah. Exactly.
this is Moorish fantasy.
Yeah. Creative writing.
Yeah, here you go.
Yeah. So you know, sometimes.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, man. So that's why I say peace be still to them brothers, bro. But
when I studied that information, because I used to study that info.
Mhm.
All right. I'm not coming at it from someone who was on the outside.
Yeah.
I'm coming from someone who got wind of it, was out there propagating it before I even had it in my hands. I was out here running around AA 222, all of that. And then actually something, causing me to study into it and realizing like, oh, wait a minute, this ain't what I got from Big Bro. It was introduced to me as if it was like a continuation of Drew Ali's information.
I would say it's I lightly would say it's an addition to it. I
I'm
would say
telling you, it is bid'ah.
that is what?
Bid'ah. It is deviation from the truth.
Okay. But I think it depends. It depends on the reader. If your reading comprehension is at a level, for me, I'll say for me, when I read it, I add stuff. I will extract and add it to what I've already ruled as truth. I don't just jump into a ship and like, all right, this is a ship now. No. Okay, I like the suspension on this vehicle here. Okay, I'm gonna add the suspension from this vehicle to mine. I like its compulsion. I like its engine compulsion system. I'm gonna add that to mine. I like its door handles. I'm gonna add it to mine.
Right.
You know
Right.
what I'm saying? And but yeah, fiction section Moorish content guys.
Yeah, it's just not. It's not. It's believable, but it's not true.
Yeah, but ain't truth and belief are two different things though.
That was the whole point of me saying it that way.
Yeah.
That was literally, it's believable, but it's not the truth. And we know that when you get to truth, belief is no longer an option.
Right.
You know, belief is the step that you stand. That's your beginning, right? As we know as Moorish Americans, is what you belief is what you think you know.
Take the left side of that thing and turn it to bring it like towards us. The left side and pull it to the left.
This side,
Yeah, pull it towards us.
like that.
Yeah. Look. Now slide it
Okay.
over.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah. Because it's the angle of the light. But I was also saying pull the left side forward towards you. And it'll kind of like, oh wait, that didn't work. That went more towards the light. Because
Yeah,
I
bro.
tried
Before you
how the
came
light,
on,
how the light system.
my biggest issue down here is that all I have is that motherfucking lighting right here, and it's just dumb bright. Let me see.
All right, well, then you need a bolder marker now. Yeah, or adjust the camera because the camera's catching that good old light. Maybe put it down.
Well,
That's good. But now the marker just needs to be bolder, and then it'll be easy. Maybe start hitting towards the middle.
does that look any better?
Yeah, we might as well. We've already ruled on that one. No,
Yeah, right.
and now we can get on to the next point. No. So when people rewatch the thing, no, because like I said, bro, the brother Justice was saying it correctly, bro. Sometimes you got it's either yes or no. Like if you're stuck in that, then we need to do a forensic investigation. If you're stuck between yes and no, let's do a forensic investigation. Let's figure something out because it should be easily determined. You know what I mean? Hey, are you promoting what Noble Drew Ali taught? Yes or no? No. Because you got your own fictional doctrine going.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Say
We
something,
go in the
Doctor.
room for a moment, give it about 2 minutes. Appreciate that. All right. All right. Let me see here. Are you familiar with this right here?
Damn. There we go. Oh, he cut his mic.
All right, go back one more time. Noble Drew Ali, Moorish American. What does that say? The movement that started it all by C.M. Bay. No, I'm just playing.
No.
Deep way ill. No. Mm-mm. Bro, I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. You already know what I'm about to say.
What's that?
I just read the Circle 7, the DC bylaws, the Moorish literature, the branch temple information, that stuff. I read
So
those.
I brought this up because this book right here has helped me.
Hmm.
All right. Let me put it to you. This book is not in the same league as, let's say,
A Zooming of a Nation.
this book. Right.
How did I know?
You knew it in
How did I
this
know?
book.
Look at who drew that? Who is that?
Huh. So this is the
Did he kill
dude
the
named
girl?
Timothy
Go back,
Dingle
put that
L.
back up. Wait. Who drew that? Wait, the Resurrection Moorish Science Temple of America. What's that say? The truth?
The truth. Be yourself and not somebody else. If
Man,
I
that's
draw, you're cut. New time of era right now. Defend her or she will defend herself. But this is the Moorish Science Temple of America, Inc., bro.
bro, where's the libraries at?
What do you mean?
These guys, bro. I'm about to just make a library, bro. I think that's the best way I'm gonna be able to help these dudes out, bro, is just to put it in the library.
Yeah. So I was told, I was trying to get this information, right? And I was told that because I got it off of Amazon and not from an actual temple, that there's missing information in here, right? And I was like, well, that's fine. Because what's in here still shows me that this nigga's a buff. He's a fucking, to me, he's a fraud.
I
If
like
you've
the
ever,
fact that you get these books and read them, bro.
I read them, bro.
You know, I don't even know if that's a skill anymore, man. I don't know if that's a, you know how much of an advocate I am for reading, but it's like I don't know if people
I
do
couldn't
that,
really
bro.
get through all of this, just like I couldn't really get through um, the exhuming of a nation, because as soon as I see the discrepancies, I'm like, here we go. So this guy here, Timothy Dingle L, right? He follows under the Givens L reincarnated concept. He recertified himself as Timothy Dingle A Noble Drew Alli, ALLI.
See,
I am
that's the
Prophet Noble Drew Alli.
See, I can't do that though, bro. It's like it, and for some reason you're made out of magnets or something like that, or you're a conductor because whenever you get closer, the whole room just brightens up.
I'm just vibrating high, beloved.
Yeah, that's just what it is, bro. It's like you be eating gold or some shit in the morning. It's just it's just getting brighter, but it's kind of cool though. But them dudes, bro, I can't get with that, bro. Even that, like that's like if I became a rapper and I named myself Way Z.
Yeah.
It's like, bro, I can't listen to you, bro, because you're not. No, but Drew Ali said be yourself. So how are you Drew Ali with two L's then?
So that part right there comes from the have you ever laid eyes upon the religious affidavit 10105905?
Yeah.
So
You talking about whoa. You talking about the additional bylaws
no.
of on the back of
Let me
the
see if I hold on, let me see if I can pull it up on here. No, I'm talking about the actual affidavit of religious organization.
Oh yeah. Why do people
So
always bring that up?
Because it's important.
Okay.
So on that actual paperwork, Drew Ali, at the top, he has ALLI. Now, I know that that's still pronounced Ali.
Mm-hmm.
All right. But then he signs ALI, which is cool. It's still the same thing. These people, right, the people
Mm-hmm.
who follow this brother, they believe that ALLI, like I don't even understand their concept.
Exactly. I just
I
let it.
really
That's
don't.
exactly why I don't.
But
Because it's like, what are we
to the
doing?
best of my understanding, they're saying that that was the appropriate name, and so he attached that to his name as if he was acting as Drew Ali according to that document, but it's ALLI.
Mm-hmm.
So to me, it's like another distraction, intentionally or not. It's a distraction because why are you looking at it as a Drew Ali spelled his name ALIN as well? I don't see anybody out here talk about I'm an alien or alien. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Drew Ali was writing those expressions to the best of his understanding at the time. Why are we going to sit here and so they man this
Your brain about to bust trying to figure out why they think the way they think.
yeah, like if Drew Ali were to come back today, and we know that's not how it works, but if the person of Drew were to come back, all of these people would run up to him like, "Oh yeah, I was preaching." He'd be like, "Nigga, I don't even know you. I don't know you or that doctrine you talking. That ain't from me. Y'all
Well,
ain't
we know he's not coming back. We know that.
right."
Neither is CM Bay or any other of these people that jump in the dirt. It's just not going to happen. So what we can do is, if by vote, maybe, or through donation, that these particular pieces of literature, fiction or non-fiction, can be set on a library, on a shelf, for other Moorish enthusiasts to come and read it. And that's it. You know what I'm saying? Because, and especially if it's derailing someone. See, I think the biggest thing is that brothers and sisters need a solid foundation. Their foundation is rocky. So when you start hearing these other doctrines and stuff like that, it's altering the foundation. So therefore, nothing stable can sit on it. But if they come up with a solid foundation, now you're just adding stuff to them. Oh, I remember he said this about this brother or this sister. You know what I'm saying? I can reference the book and the credibility of the author. You know what I'm saying? These are some of the things when they say get yourself a good European education. You know what I'm saying? I want to know who the author is. You're not about to boogie woogie me and make me think that a ghost wrote it.
Right.
You know
What
what I'm
kills
saying?
me even to this day is the fact that everybody's riding Drew Ali. Like, which one of y'all niggas is gonna step up into that office of prophet or a professional or a presiding officer? Like, when you gonna start throwing your name on it? Nobody wants to put their name on any of these documents from the MSTA because none of these niggas are right and exact.
Right.
Drew Ali said that it's not to be done in an individual name. Now, if we're going,
Leave it in the business, man.
look, Emily Ill, as he did everything in Emily Ill once Ali left. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't out. Now, most of us, the majority of us, look at Emily Ill and say, yeah, he was the successor. He did things in the name of the Moorish Science Temple of America because it said do it in the name of that or Drew Ali. He told us to use that. All right. But these he Emil wasn't out here acting like he was Drew Ali, but he was definitely acting like he was a prophet once Ali left. If you catch that, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm prophet, nigga. I'm the presiding officer now. I'm not Drew, but I am the prophet Ali, because again, Ali is in all of us. You know, Ali is not the man. Ali is the God in man, if you will. You know what I'm saying? So Emil was showing that he's the prophet. Now he is now the prophet of Ali, or the profession of El, the professor of God's law.
Right.
But again, everybody out here running around trying to be Drew. Why are you trying to be a dead man?
Why are you trying to be not yourself? That's the weird
Yeah,
part.
yeah, right.
You know how we say with like, I mean, I guess it's hard to honor your parents if they've led you astray. So I see why people be naming themselves these wild names. Mountain, Star Child, uh, Emutep, Bay. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, your name.
Mizraim,
Yeah.
Akhenaton, Heru, Pert, Nepset, El Bay.
Yeah, but if they write it, if okay, they're like, okay, so I want to write this check to you. What's the name of the check? Oh, Stanley Johnson, bro. If you don't sit the, where you get the the Amin Ra, Insetep,
Right.
Mountain King the Third, a Mexum Ill, bro. What you know what I'm saying? Like, let's just
People
be
be out here with
real.
all kinds of shit that they don't even use those names in the public. All these
Man,
niggas, the brother from and again, well, nigga, Taharka Boki Bay, nigga, that's not your birth name.
Stanley.
You know, even Taj Tariq Bey was not his birth name.
He went and
There are
changed
very
that.
few, if any. I'm sure that his son and whatnot, they may know his wife and them. They may know his name before he killed his straw. You know, but nigga, that's not your name. Why we out here using? Drew Ali didn't go out there and change anything about his name. That man added a title. Told us do the same.
Walter Adams said that's how you feel better. I mean, I guess, you know, man. I can see that. So, you know, okay, on to greater things though, bro. So we got the literature. Nojar Ali did his thing. He came, he fulfilled his purpose, and he passed for him. I think he fulfilled his purpose. He dropped some literature for those who could comprehend it, and for those who can comprehend it, they can add to themselves intricate versions of wisdom where they can relay the same information back and then reference it back to the temple. Also, with that being said, you've been to church before. You didn't seen that did the music and the dance and all that stuff like that, and they
The
give you
feel good.
a good sermon and stuff like that, a good word to pep up, and okay, and then you gave them 50 cents in the offering basket, and 50 people that did that. That's every Friday and Sunday and stuff like that. You got financial, you got finance now. You got finance now. Who's this young brother? Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
I'm just saying. So you see how? Oh, pardon. See how the prophet. Let me move out the way. So you see how the prophet, he's standing. Trying to get my finger in there. He's standing
One foot in, one foot
on
out.
salvation, right? So now, when we look at, let me take this back off real quick so you can see. This is the shit that be bothering me. All right. So he's saying, he's now saying like, you know, we got her across that threshold, right? For me. This is where Drew Ali was standing.
Okay, I see
He's
now.
saying that he done got her. Yeah, I mean, he saved her. I'm like, nigga, that no. You know, on Noble Drew Ali's picture, you see the cross because he's standing upright and she's coming across, and you know what I'm saying, that negative and positive.
Man, it's gonna happen through a trial that can't be told in words. And with
Yeah.
that, what I interpret that to mean is it's gonna be some work. When you're working hard, bro, you ain't got time to talk. You ain't got time to be like, trying to explain everything. Just follow the lead. Just do what I'm doing. Lift how I'm lifting this. Move this read how I'm reading this. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be through a trial that can't be told in words, bro. Like we did that data research the other day. We're talking about 66 Asian. Well, I don't want to say that. 66 African American members in Congress out of 535 voting members. 66. You don't have an interest. If all 66 of y'all voted for one thing, you don't. You
Right.
lost. You lost. You know what I'm saying? And so again, we got brothers and sisters who want to be a part of, like you said, they want to be something that they're not. You want to be something that someone has told you. Like, when I was on the morning conference the other morning, the brother said, he said something that he pretty much acknowledged a claim. He accepted a claim. He was like, well, the young Moors, he quoted the prophet or whatever. He was like, the young Moors going to make the old Moors sit in the back and stuff like that, and blah, blah, blah. And I said, so you an old Moor? And he's like, yeah. I said, who told you was old? And I said, how old are you? If you don't mind me asking. He's like, oh, I'm like 54. I said, so when I'm 54, I'm not old. Like,
Well,
is that what
you're
claiming?
The concept of old Moors versus new Moors is that it is these old Moors who are asleep and who are lulling the people to sleep, teaching things that are not conducive, to what Ali brought. The old Moors are the infiltration.
I understand that, but the point that I was trying to make with the brother is like, everything is energy and frequency and power. So if I said, okay, so if you're accepting the term, your brain and heart and everything processes it, and now it starts to activate it and bring it into the material world, right? With that being said, if you accept that, and this is an extreme case, you might as well accept black. You might as well accept thief. You might as well accept
the old Moors
starving.
who are still.
You might as well, you might as well accept a bunch of stuff.
The old Moors are the ones who are still going around using religion for feel good, like Walter said. As opposed to any real tangible economic, upliftment. It's like, no, come here, come learn about your nationality and divine creed. And you get there, and it's like there's no application that goes with the teachings.
Yeah,
every
I think is cool.
Huh?
I think that there's cool is that what I've always found awesome about ministry is where you can add creativity to it, and where you could, teachers are like so legendary. Like, everyone remembers great teachers and stuff like that. But when you come across that roster, I remember I was doing a lecture, or not a lecture, but I was doing the Holy Day meetings, and I had came in a different manner than what I've seen. Most people just come straight out of Quran, bro. I came with literature, I came with books, I came with all sorts of stuff. But what I did was I stayed on point, because the laws say that you have to come out of the Quran, and that's it. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, when I used to come in, that called me to the podium. Okay, we got Brother E. Robinson Bay coming to give his portion of understanding and stuff like that. They'll do say the little saying, it's like normally like a song or a jingle or something they say, and I get up there and I'll be like, I said, Islam, I give praise to Allah, honors to the Prophet, and honors in conjunction with the honors that was previously given. I say, I'll rise above the murky ethers of the flesh. Oh, yes, I'll rise above the murky ethers of the flesh, giving all praise to Allah and honors to the Prophet and the forerunner to the Prophet, and every honor that was previously given. Then I'll get straight into the literature. You know what I'm saying? And so when I was coming with books, some of these guys in the place that I was at, they hadn't seen this stuff. They's only read it. So the portion that I was talking about was we're talking about the great Atlantic Ocean, chapter 47. That was one of my favorite chapters. Man, I got to talking about, I got to showing these books about the pyramids. I'm showing them these things. Like, and you know what I'm saying? I was like, so,
Because you
and
know now about being told, they got to see that shit.
yeah, yeah. So I'm linking what Drew Ali is saying and stuff like that. Now, mind you, you don't really act out in there like that. Ain't no clapping or none of that stuff like that. You know, you control yourself.
Right.
You
That's like a
control yourself.
traditional Islamic khutbah.
Yeah, you just let it. You just let the truth baptize you, enlighten you, and you just keep going. So so yeah, so I never really knew the effect. Sometimes I see some smiles and I see some head nods and stuff like that. You know what I mean? And you know, I just wanted to bring a piece of peace to the brothers with like something literature and stuff like that. And then some of the brothers was like, man, I never even knew that. I've read that 100,000 times, but I ain't know that there was proof to back it up. And I said, yes, bro. And but I love chapter 47 because that's the thing that captivated me the most. So I'm like, whoa, we talking about before the great Atlantic Ocean.
Right.
Man. But yeah. Well, yeah, man. That's that guy, bro. That guy's amazing, man. I mean, the only thing we
Yeah,
can do
man,
is
I love Big Brother, man.
yeah.
And I'm always going to call him Big Brother so that those who hear me and understand who I'm talking about, like, yo, I don't put the brother above me. He's my equal.
Same thing with the son of Mary.
Period. That's Big Brother.
See, I'm just
Muhammad,
not
that's
from the
Big
tribe
Brother.
of idol worshiping though. I have
Yeah,
never formed something where I've like or graven image. I've never like you know what I'm saying. It never set well with me. You know what I'm
me
saying?
either.
No.
I couldn't go around talking about something or some person or anything was like just greater than me or that there was something outside of myself in that respect that does for me what in such a manner that I need to be raising it up like that. Like, nah, nigga, like ain't none of those men, women, past, present, or future, and according to Islam especially, none of them are higher to me except in piety.
Yeah.
That's it. Like, so again, a little brother watches his big brother. His big brother plays football in high school. Little bro wants to play football. His big brother goes to college. Little brother won't go to college. Big brother goes to the league. He want to go to the league. All right, I get that part. But sitting there saying, "Hey, my brother's better than everybody," what? Like that's worship. What do you mean? He's better than nah. You know what I mean? Like I
Man, he
want to be
better
just
than
like my
you.
brother. Cool. I
That's what
want
I
to be
say. I
my
say.
brother. What?
See, I don't even think it's in the nature of the common human, bro. Because like my two sons, the older one is clearly better than the younger one, right? But the younger one has declared so many times. He said, "I want to beat Isaiah. I want to. I want to be better." It's not that I'm accepting that he'll accept it in a moment, but the whole goal is to do better. Observe, watch, and try to outdo the big brother. Be better. You know what I'm saying?
My
Use
little
that.
brother, my little brother, bro. And mind you, now he's way taller than me, right? But my little brother has spent the majority of his life trying to outshine me, as if there was some type of sibling rivalry. Right? Even now that we're grown, I remember when I came home from prison and shit. I was the leader of the gang before I went in. I come home, my bro was like, "Yeah, the gang's mine now." Think I fucking care, nigga? Like my little brother has always trying to, and it's sad. It is what it is, though. But he's always trying to show that he's better than me. or that he's more mature or more in power than I. And I'm like, bro, me personally, I could care. I could, let me see. I could not care any less. You know what I mean? Like, you want to be me, but you want to be yourself, but you want, he was looking for, and he was looking for accolades that I ain't care for anymore anyway. But you want to, basically, he want the, a lot of these, it's like the sword of Damocles, right? Everybody want to wear that crown and shit. Everybody they want the benefit, but they don't want the hard work that comes with coming behind that. I never understood that shit. I didn't mean to cut your wisdom out.
No, you good. You good. Yeah, man, but I don't want to understand it. Not, no shot at you or
Right, I'm
anything
not
like
trying to understand it either, bro. I just like, it's interesting.
it is interesting.
That's about
And
it.
once I look at the surface of something, once I observe something, I look at the surface of it and I'm like fitna, I'm bypassing it. I was like, all right, let's just not go this way. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna go around, we're gonna go the other way. But yeah, but that's good, man. That's great, bro. I think we on the upward scale towards
I
well,
definitely feel like Girardi telling us that 50 years after he's gone, there was going to be a decline. All right. But he also let us know that there was going to be a rise too. So we know he's riding the wave, right? Things rise, things fall. But we're on the rise
hmm well, I think the thing that I think too is that, and this is a thought based off of a couple versions of evidence. A lot of the Asiatic, the Moorish people are content where
again.
they
Yeah.
are. You know,
Complacent.
again, because we go back to will and intent, bro. When you join the Moorish Science Temple of America, there's particular behavior that is not accepted. Just like when you join the Islam or any masjid and stuff like that, there's behavior, or any synagogue or any group, any group that's in the monotheistic Abrahamic faith, there's certain behaviors that are unacceptable, unbecoming
Period.
of a Muslim, unbecoming of a person who have willfully, intentionally decided to follow the deific will or bring about the deific will of the Most High. It's just known. And I remember, man, it is what it is, man. And sometimes it'll take people a little bit longer. I've seen guys that just straight up like, yeah, man, I ain't ready for all this shit. I
I'd
ain't ready
rather
for all
someone be honest and say that, though. If you're not
yeah,
ready, just say you're not ready.
yeah. Bro,
I
I
know
had a
niggas. I know niggas, and I mean it is what it is. But I remember being in prison around Philly dudes, Philly brothers and whatnot. And in the prison system, um, Philly niggas is mostly Muslim because they mans or somebody probably brought them into the mold. I remember hearing brothers, tell them like, man, like that it sounds good and all, but I ain't ready, man. Like I'm not ready to be a better person. Like I still want to go out in the world and wild out and shit.
I wanna overdose. This is what it is. I wanna overdose on the sensations and odors of this life.
Absolutely.
I wanna it's a drug, bro. It's like, cause my thing was like I love the women. And I was like, damn, she was fun. I'm gonna go have fun with her again. I'm gonna see this one. She offering a funner time. Oh, I think I can have ultimate fun with her. You know what I'm saying? And then even with the spirits, drinking the spirits and stuff like that. It's like, you want to be married, but then it comes a time when you just realize, like, I don't know. I guess enlightenment comes to whoever wants to, but you
Yeah,
know,
you only receive what you're looking for. That's the justice.
yeah. I personally don't want. I want to be able to enjoy life. I'm at the point. Have been past the point where I'm enjoying life naturally. Like I don't need something to induce it to me.
Right.
to have fun now, but that doesn't discard it though. You know what I'm saying? Like if there is some, I'm not an advocate for, substance abuse or nothing like that, but we have known that in moderation, you can use things because it was planted here for us.
Right.
How else did it get here? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But, you know, it's just a day at a time. But one thing for sure, we got to get back to the temple and the instructional organization. It's got to start with the youth. It's got to
Well,
continue.
you're my first and foremost. If there was a ballot, you're the first on my ballot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't wish to put myself in that position. You and I, we've spoken about that.
Oh, you leave?
Yeah.
Okay,
No.
no, I seen the piece. Like, oh, yeah, I'm copying you. So what?
Islam.
It's wrong, brother. So I'm about to put on my Shema in a minute.
Man, I just taught my son. I was telling him when we go outside, put this on your chest so that it can stop the wind. Hold on. I just wish for you to give a happy holiday greeting to the Muslims, brother.
Happy holiday. Caught me out of that time.
Oh, my bad. I didn't mean to, beloved.
My was just a mess.
No, but that's okay.
Is on everybody. I hope y'all have a decent day.
It's wrong, brother.
Be over there.
Happy holiday.
That's Allah right there.
That's Allah. He look like Allah.
But that's literally his name.
I know. He look like
Yeah.
Allah.
He look like an Allah, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's the avatar right there.
Mm-hmm. That's what's up, brother.
Yeah, he was raised in this movement. As soon as his mother and myself caught wind of this movement, his mother made sure that he was going to get the information, even though in my opinion, he was receiving watered down. Because again, we all came out of that tar shit,
Yeah.
But, yeah, them is, man, it's my little bros right there. Hold on. Yeah. I'm not cutting the feed, but I am about to walk to the store. Because I need me a little bit of, not substance abuse, but a little bit of substance use with the Egyptian,
Yeah. He talking about substance use.
What'd you say?
He said you talking about not substance abuse, but substance use.
Yeah. I need some substance. But no, I use that because I use it in moderation, and I have intentions to use it, and it does what I need it to do for me. So like, I'm not abusing it. I'm not. Huh?
Hemp is an all natural substance.
Well, yeah, but again, I know people who abuse it. You know what I'm saying? I know people who smoke just because.
Hey, that's their journey.
Yeah, and that's their journey, right? I don't need to pull this out. But like with me, as a Sufi Muslim, I allow for my mind to consider and ponder all possibilities, and that special plan allows for that.
I had this girlfriend one time. That's all she used to do is. That's all we used to do is smoke.
Again, I came up with all we used to do is smoke, but now I smoke for purpose. Right? Like to me, I have a purpose, a reason as to why I'm doing it. So I'm not going to do it just because. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, damn, it must have rained like crazy. Ah. Yeah,
I'm gonna go check that in a minute.
That's a terrible name, Engine. But whatever. That person still in here? People be coming in here with the boogie woogies and shit.
They got a $10 million reward on this guy named James Wedding.
James Wedding.
Yeah,
What
he's
did he do? Where is he at? I'm on my Charleston White shit. Where is he at?
he went from what did he do? No, where's he at? Yes, no, that is funny. Man, if I see him, he's going down. He's getting beat up,
Who, Wedding?
citizen arrest, apprehended.
Absolutely. This is a citizen's arrest, nigga.
He used to be an Olympic skier, and now he's a smuggler for a
I got
If I catch
Mace.
him, you are beat up and arrested. I'm talking about arrested.
I got shot. Oh, damn.
I'm not even saying nothing to him. I'm just gonna straight up tackle him.
Was it my
Boom.
neighbors?
I'm cooked. I'm throwing him in the trunk.
Said he gonna hit that nigga like Ray Lewis.
I'm throwing him in the trunk, and I'm driving downtown to the FBI office because that's who won him. Give me my bread. The FBI field office is downtown. I'm illegally parking. We dragging them in there. 10M.
Don't let us say he's wanted dead or
this?
alive.
Let me look at.
Like, oh, he's wanted dead or alive? Cool, I'm pulling. I'm up in pose.
It says reward. Yeah. It says reward up
I'm
to $10
acting
million.
like I'm acting like the doctor on the dentist nigga on Django.
Right.
All right, brother.
Right.
I'm gonna hit that nigga with the piece and then throw my hands up like, yo, what I have in my pocket, my breast pocket, is a warrant for him wanted dead or alive. Nigga's noticeably dead.
Right. Man. If he give up a tussle, I'm definitely gonna tap his head. Duka? You should have just laid low.
You thought it was gonna be
lay
bad
low.
if the police caught you. What?
Man. You gonna be like, what did
Playing
I
drums like you
do?
doing? Nah, I ain't trying to hurt nobody, but I definitely.
10 M's, you getting hurt. I'm not even gonna lie. 10 M's, you getting hurt. And you not even and you smuggling drugs into my country? Oh yeah, you're cooked.
Right.
You're cooked. And I'm telling you, I'm not saying you're under arrest. I'm just straight just throwing punches and I'm slamming him. Boom. Help me get him in the trunk.
Right.
Stuff him in the trunk. Hopefully I knock him out. I just stuff him in the trunk. Stuff him in the trunk. I'm flying downtown.
M's, you fucking up? Yeah, I'm coming for that.
I'm putting in track mode. I'm putting in track mode down 75. Jumping off the freeway. Right up there.
What area is this guy in?
He up here.
Okay.
He hiding somewhere.
10 mil.
Up to
It's
10 million.
definitely for the money, but it ain't just for the money. But it's for the money, nigga.
It's definitely for the money. Hey, listen, I'm calling the FBI ahead of time. Like, listen, I know where dog at. I need y'all. I need a written affidavit stating that how much I'm getting, or I'm letting this nigga go.
Right?
I literally got him. I literally got him subdued right now. So I need a verified. Matter of fact, I'll settle for 5. Give me 5, and I'll gift wrap him to you right now. He alive. He alive
Right?
right now. I'm gift
Right.
wrapping him to you.
He breathing right now. Give me 5 mil.
He's currently on the plane of existence, alive, conscious.
Shit. Yeah, I couldn't catch him because I don't know if my lower self would be suppressed. If I know I'm allowed to shoot a nigga, I might do it.
Man,
Because I ain't got time to tussle, you know what I mean?
yeah.
I ain't got
You can just pop him
hit
in the
that
leg
nigga in the
real quick and
kneecap, let him drop.
yeah, pop him in the leg, do a little tourniquet real quick. Like, yeah, they got a $10 million bounty on you, bro. I had to get you real quick. You gonna survive, bro. Don't worry about bleeding in my car. I'm gonna get a new one.
Nobody else desires to come on up? I guess not.
Don't worry about bleeding on my car. I'm gonna get a new one.
You know what, bro? I'm gonna end this feed and I'm gonna hit your horn.
All right.
If that's cool.
Yeah.
All right, as always to you all, I'm just your brother man, come to show you the way to your own salvation, right? Y'all be careful out there. Always go back. Always review. Always compare. You know what I'm saying? Just to cap this up, CM Moors they're not with the Moors Divine International. They're just not. Y'all take care.